Hello and welcome to the Friday Night Social! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Welcome everyone. We've got Ollie Bowler Hatman, we've got Mike Dixon, we've got Rachel Harris in the house! In the house! How's it going, everyone? Alright? We haven't got Mikey in yet. We need to find out how Mikey is. It's all gone to shit in America, hasn't it? But,
he's probably been rounded up in a Walmart or something.
Oh, God. In a Home Depot. A big shout out, first of all, to Reverend Kathy and to Scott and to Diz and Hating Puds, Joanna, Francis is in there. We've got Chris C, we've got One Angry Pagan, we've got Saz, we've got WJ, we've got Anne Phillips, we've got Trip, and now we've got Scott Williams entering. Hello, Scott. He's there. He's there. Woo! Hello.
Hi, Rachel.
Hey, Scott.
Hi.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Fun fact, I'm wearing Vans. Yeah, my knackered old Vans.
Good.
I'm cold. Everyone's telling me in the chat that they're really hot.
Boiling.
I was going to put my coat on.
I think you'll find that I am cold too. And you know why? Because of my beautiful air conditioner that you all took the piss out of me for buying. Worth every penny today. Every penny.
As a northerner, I don't need air conditioning.
Shut up.
I just open window.
So yeah, big shout out to everyone in the chat. If you'd like to join our friends in the chat here, if you want to join the socialites, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button and wait for a minute and you will be subscribed. So lots to talk about this week, innit? First of all, death of Brian Wilson. We now live in a world. Can someone explain to me why I live in a world where Brian Wilson is dead and yet Rupert Murdoch still lives? God only knows. Am I right? Am I right?
No, we should try and harmonise that between us.
God only knows how.
Yeah, no. Not worth
I know the song.
I can't sing for shit. I think so. I think I deserve a super chat for not singing. There you go.
Yeah,
not subjecting you. When your partner is profoundly deaf and she's like, "Please stop singing," then you know that you are a terrible singer. You shouldn't even try. So yeah, I mean, did anyone see the footage of this sheriff in Florida saying that he's going to
kill everyone?
He's going to shoot the any protesters graveyard dead. That's what he said. He's going to shoot them graveyard dead.
That's okay. Do it. See what happens. Because the whole families that will sue, and that guy will go down.
No.
You can't kill people.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
No, they're not going to get away with it. They won't get away with it.
They might get away with it. Hey, Mikey, how you doing? Mikey's in the house.
Yeah,
Mikey's alive and not in detention.
He hit me with a stick. So what did you do? I murdered him. No, it doesn't really work like that.
No,
it was things like, if you spit on us, you'll go to hospital and then you'll go to jail.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous. And they're all sitting there lapping it up around it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, that's so funny. We're going to kill people.
And Trump gave a speech in front of a load of army people and they were all cheering him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that wasn't concerning in the slightest.
They were all chosen, you know.
Yeah.
Right?
they were chosen, yeah. They weren't allowed to be fat.
And a senator got fucking bundled out of a press conference.
Bundled. He was thrown to the ground and arrested.
Yeah. Handcuffed.
Terrible. That should be the red flag. That should be the line when everybody goes, wait a minute. You know. And it sometimes seems like, you know, everybody just goes, oh, well, they will let him go afterwards. So no. It should never have happened.
Hey, Tansky's in the chat. She says she's dying because it's too hot.
Well, Tan, you were
He
very
told
welcome.
me to come on, so Tam would come on.
You're very welcome, Tan, to come to my air-conditioned room.
I'm Tambay.
We need more ladies. We need more
Scott,
ladies.
is this just your latest chat up line?
I am
air conditioned. Oh my god, I'll get so much dick because this air conditioning.
Hello, young man. Would you like to come and visit my air-conditioned room?
Visit my
that is a really good reason for getting it. Yeah, actually, now that you've said it, that makes sense to me because that would be quite enticing if I was like dying of the heat and someone said, you know, would you like some Turkish delight or would you like to come up to my air-conditioned flat? I'd be like, oh, air-conditioned flat. Keep the Turkish delight because it's like, I don't know, it's horrible. Tastes like eating solid perfume. But yeah, Super Tanty, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, darling.
Come on, Tan. Get Get some ice cubes.
Yeah.
Put an ice cube on your head.
I'm not a big
Ice
bull, you
cubes in
see,
your
Graham.
hat. Put your hat on. So
Graham
yeah.
said, come on, because Tam won't come on unless you come on, because it's a dick fest otherwise.
Yes.
So I'm on. And
yes, Tan and Hannah should be joining us as well.
Hannah,
come on.
My wife. Oh.
Come on, get on the...
Hannah would be great, and Tan. Hannah and Tan. Tan and Hannah.
Scott, have you met Hannah in real life?
Not yet, no.
I don't know if she's real, mate. She might just be AI. You never know.
I'm really scared she's going to turn me straight. I'm like terrified of it.
She might
She's
cure
so
you.
Fucking beautiful. I'm scared to death of it. I'm like, oh my god, I think I'm straight for like 5 minutes.
So that's that gay conversion that we're talking about.
Like
conversion therapy.
I think Hannah is the one that could
hanging out with Hannah.
If you convert, if you go straight after hanging out with Hannah, I'm calling you a Tory for the rest of my days. Just so you know.
So that's how you cure the gay people. You pray the gay away.
People, you just put Hannah in front.
Hannah takes you to a Metallica gig.
I'm going to that.
Takes you to Ozfest. Could work.
I'm going with a gay guy actually. So
Super Tansky says
Ozfest tickets.
There'll be no air conditioning there.
Tansky's saying I'm punching my phone, Scott. Why is Tansky punching her phone? I think she
hates the fact that I think Hannah's so beautiful.
Oh my god, you nasty person!
But I think Tan is just as beautiful. That's the funny thing about it. I think
they should fight
just as equally stunning. So
right.
I think they should hit each other.
Fight each other to try and turn Scott.
Dominance.
Why would two women fight over a gay man?
Over Scott.
Who's not
to see who's
it's the
prettiest.
Challenge. Yeah, it's the challenge.
I can just see Scott now in the toga with Graham just holding grapes over him. Just go, now you will fight for my amusement.
You will fight for me.
Well, now Tan's saying in the chat that Hannah turned her gay.
No, well,
so
yes, this is the problem.
This is very complicated very quickly.
Well, when Hannah shows up, you will all understand why. So, you know.
Scott, your boyfriend McKinnon over here says, y'all having a fight without me, LOL. I'll fight over Scott.
I don't want war with McKinnon. I want to make love, not war. You let him know that wife of his no longer needs to be in the picture, that I will take
oh dear.
I just want to thank everybody for being witness to the most peaceful president in American history. Can you dig it?
Oh my god!
Are we peaceful yet? Are we doved up?
You're totally.
I feel like a dove today.
Totally at peace.
So tomorrow is going to be very interesting. I think.
Yeah, no King Day.
So this is going to be the Black Parade, isn't it? It's going to be like
or the Red Wedding.
Romance.
I didn't think of that. My Chemical Romance are going to come out. They're going to be in their little Beatles suits. And,
so let me just say something that I saw on TV. Right, I was watching this show about this other country, and it was weird. It was almost like the fake president they had wanted the entire military infrastructure to be crippled all in one go. So what that president did was he took all of our, heavy military equipment and put it in a parade so that once enemies saw all of these like big expensive things all in a residential area, the enemies saw that as a 2-for-1, especially since there's no more cybersecurity in that country. So whoever's going to that parade, I hope you have your Fallout suit. Yep. And a 4-leaf clover and a horseshoe up your ass. This is moronic.
It's embarrassing, is what it is.
It's going dangerous. It's very dangerous.
Yeah. Well, other than like the obvious, could it be a terrorist attack, whatever? I don't know, but the display in itself is embarrassing. This is going to shame America for a very long time.
He's going to defeat all the non-believers and the plans that they have made.
Parade than Putin. That's all he wants.
But he said he was inspired by a Bastille Day parade, wasn't he? In France.
It's Macron's fault.
It's all Macron's fault.
Macron rolled out the tanks for him, didn't he?
Where's Jan? Jan Wallace, this is your fault.
Did you see him being interviewed about it? And he said, "We've got the best submarines in the world." And you think, how the fuck are you going to put those in a parade? How's that going to work? It's like,
It's called global warming. Hello.
Yeah.
I think it all comes back to the Macron thing because of the submarine comment. Because if you remember, Macron landed from a helicopter on a nuclear submarine in the middle of the Atlantic. And I think Trump was jealous of that. So that'll be his next stunt, which we should positively encourage him to try it.
I'd love to put Trump in a submarine. Send him down to see the Titanic.
Yeah. Like
that
little sub, yeah? That'd be great.
Kate, yeah, with a screen door. Kay in the chat says those tanks are gonna fuck up the roads all over DC. Oh my god. You think the big fucking those trucks with the gravel and shit, them some bitches is heavy. They're pulling literal stone down the roads. These fucking tanks are made out of the same stone, but only refined. They're just concentrated pickup trucks or dump trucks of rock
with
fused into one thing that has an engine in it. Like, it's just the heaviest thing.
It'd be funny if it's really hot and the tarmac melts.
Yeah. Or it rains.
Well,
I don't think that would be.
There's not a lot of tar in it.
The army have put $16 million aside to repair the roads.
It'll be fine. We have Hey, I mean, with the tariffs bringing in all
that cheddar.
Well, just
cheese.
wait a second.
Yeah.
When we fucking hit the lottery, we hit Powerball, and we get all this money from tariffs, which is not going to happen. We'll totally be able to fix in this. Did they not watch the fucking rallies? Where he did the thing at Coachella at like the Coachella stage or whatever. And then he just like didn't pay for the shuttle to get people all the way back. They had to walk like 2 hours in the pitch black in the desert.
They still voted for him though, didn't they?
They still voted for him.
They didn't have a choice at that point.
So, Rachel,
committed.
Can we bring things over to the UK a little bit and talk about what happened this week with the fucking the Equalities and Human Rights Commission with this dickhead fucking Faulkner in charge?
Well, yeah, my television has a crack in it where I threw things at it for 2 hours. Not really, but I mean, I did throw a lot of things at the television. Well, we all know the problems at the Equality and Human Rights Commission. We know that Faulkner was placed to do a job, and she was. I mean, the first thing was there was a great article by Ian Dunt, and I recommend you go and read it. And basically, he's a political journalist who just basically said she was in there to waste the 2 hours by burning out the 2 hours. It's her last Women and Equalities meeting where she gets questioned. And she just ran out the time. Every question she asked, she went on for 15 minutes, didn't answer the question. The chair was visibly getting annoyed. There were about 7-8 people around in the Women and Equalities. I would say that 6 were for the trans community and 2 were against. One was Rosie Duffield, who's obviously against the trans community, and one was a Tory MP, who was sort of Miriam Kate's clone. She was just like, oh, well, Article 8 doesn't really apply to trans people, really. Only affects 8,000 trans people with gender recognition certificates, not actually the 500,000 trans people who will be affected by this. It was all very dismissive. She seemed to want to get away early, and I know that we saw that. I saw that Mayor Forstadt was in the audience, and she sort of left 45 minutes, but 15 minutes before the end, and Baroness Faulkner wanted to go. I don't know where they wanted to go, but it seemed like they wanted to leave together. So I don't know. It's just all joined up. It just sounded. You could tell. Each of the MPs. The Labour MP asked a very good question. She said, I want to set up a walking club for women, and I want to invite trans women. So can I do that? And Baroness Faulkner said, well, that would have to be mixed sex. And she was saying, well, I don't want it to be mixed sex. I want it to be for women, and I want trans women to attend. Oh, well, it would be mixed sex because you couldn't have it as single sex with trans women there. So you'd have to have men there as well. But that doesn't work for me. And that's where she is. She's like, trans women shouldn't be using loos. Trans women don't get Article 8 under the European Convention. Trans women is almost like trans women are less. We're less now. And so it was a pretty shocking. In a way, I thought it was good in a way, because I think people are waking up. I thought the Women Equality certainly woke up bar the 2. I think the papers wrote quite a lot of good positive stuff. I think that there's been some good journalism on this, on what happened. It's definitely bonded the trans community. There's the Equality and Human Rights Commission consultation that finishes at the end of June. It takes about an hour to fill it in. You can use the transactional guidance to do it. You should do that because they're going to ignore. They're going to ignore the trans submissions. It feels like they'll ignore them, but you should put them in because then when we do freedom of information later, or there's a court case later, we can say, why did you ignore these 30,000 trans submissions? The guy, when you read every trans person I know that's done the submission, the guidance is all about how to exclude trans people, and just, are you happy with this? Is it clear the way we're going to exclude these trans people and the way we're going to exclude them? Are you clear? It feels really, every trans person I know that's submitted so far, and Katie Montgomery did a 4-hour stream on how to fill it in, and she was saying that she felt very low energy at the end of it. It's tough, but you should do it. The other thing is that's the first thing you should do, and it will take you about an hour, and you look at the transactional guidance and do it. The other thing you should do is the NEON, the Not in Our Name petition that's out there for cisgender women, non-trans women only, to sign it. That needs to be, that's climbing. It's at about 35,000 nearly now. We want that, need over 100,000. So if you have cisgender people in your life, fill that, sign that survey and pass it to other people, because those are women that are just saying, we know we're next. We know that trans people are the stepping stone to us. Therefore, we should stand and defend trans women. So if you've got women in your life, sisters, mothers, cousins, friends that are female, get them to read why the women are signing it and get them to sign it and share it. I think it's once it gets to a certain number, then this organization can use it to talk to government. And I think that's a really important thing to do as well. But the women equality, it was an utter frustrating thing to watch. You could see the people in the audience, the Baroness Faulkner, some people sitting behind her, the two on the panel, the media between them. It's such a joined up, nasty little thing. The Tate trans, and really, the bit I really was really upset was the Rosie Dufford saying, "Oh, you've had such a tough time with trans people bullying you, haven't you?" "Oh, it's not for me; it's for the people at my staff." And it was like, well, hang on a minute. You just said it's 8,000 people. It isn't 8,000 people hassling you. Well, what do you expect us to do? What do you think trans people to do? Do we just sit here and wait for you to take our rights away? We're allowed to write letters and we're allowed to march in the street. The things that the people in the anti-trans communities do to us are much crueler. The death threats, the horrors, the violence, the deaths we're now experiencing. That's worse than you getting a few people calling you nasty things and leaving piss on your doorstep at the Equality and Human Rights Commission, which is what they were saying. The things they're doing to us are absolutely frightening, and it's frightening being trans in the UK. So yeah, you might get a few emails and a few nasty things on social media, but that's peanuts to what you're doing to us. So it was such an acting. Oh, it must be so hard. Yes, it is hard, but the powerful cabal of people coming after trans people, it was shocking. It's shocking. And then the Tory MP, and I'll finish off, we just said, well, we should go back and we should challenge all those women and girls that have lost out to trans people in sport. And I was thinking, I'd really like to see that list. What women and girls have? I don't know a trans person's won a sod all thing in the UK. So I'd be really interested to know what that is.
Yeah.
There was that pool tournament that Fox News reported on.
Oh God!
You can imagine the major advantage a trans person has in a game of pool.
It was shocking. It was shocking to watch, and I'm like, Ian Dunn really summarized it, and I would recommend you read his article. But and a lot of other journals, and the Guardian's written some good articles about it.
Yeah.
The Equality and the Good Law written a bit about it. All the Legal Trans Project written about good stuff about it. Everybody's writing about it because everybody could see for what it was. I think that Hammer's been really overplayed.
Yeah.
And I think people noticed. So,
I've put in the chat links to Ian Dunn's article, the transactional guidance, and the petition. They're not in my name petition, so they're in the chat. If you want to link to that while you're watching this and fill that in, that'd be great. It's just disgusting. There's a woman who's going around America who came joint 5th in a swimming competition.
Riley Grimes.
And she's fucking crazy, and she's going around going, "Oh, trans women, stop me from winning!" What, 5th? She got joint 5th. and she had a go at Simone Biles this week. The gymnast, the multi-Olympic gold-winning gymnast, 5 Olympic golds, and she was like, "Oh, having a go."
It's a good grift. It's a good grift. The right will, if you detransition,
yeah,
the right will grab you and love you up and veil you at your most vulnerable time and say, look, this person was diagnosed incorrectly. The one of 500,000 people, the one per knee regret or thigh regret or breast surgery or plastic surgery regret,
tattoos,
and yet the regret rate in the trans community is less than 0.5%, and they get one. Wow, they put it on every right wing show.
How about we find someone who regrets their marriage and will ban marriages? How about that, eh?
Yeah,
I'm sure I can find a few people who'll be like, it was shit. I fell in love with the wrong person, like a right twat.
So Graham,
I've got two lots of experience of that, Graham. So I'll lead that campaign for you.
So this is the problem that LGBTQ plus faces. Instead of advocating for your Darren.
Hello, guys.
Instead of advocating for your own rights, I think the goal now is to really push towards no more cis divorce. Like, no, fuck that. Y'all are together forever. No, we're gonna fucking go after your shit. Since you want to get in our pool and pee in our pool, we're going into your hot tub and we're dropping a deuce. No more divorce for anybody. You're stuck with these assholes for life.
This is the straight thing. If you were to talk to an evangelical person in America or whatever, they would actually agree with that. Eventually it will be that women won't be able to divorce their husbands.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what they want, isn't it? Emma, thank you so much for the first super chat of the evening. Thank you so much. Emma said, "Go Rachel." So thanks very much for that.
Thank you, Emma.
I know. I'm really sorry. It's been a really like this whole. I mean, I want to say year, but it's been longer than that, hasn't it? But this whole process. But at least now you're seeing people like Ian Dunt and the Good Law Project and Kate. Nash standing up and actually making a fuss about this and saying, no, this is completely out of order. And I think you're right when you say, like, pointing it out is half the battle. Like, people just don't realize just how horrible.
I think people are noticing as more and more streamers are talking about it. A talks about it, Phil talks about it, you talk about it. That's amazing. And I know Lazo's talked about it, and Mikey's talked about it. And
I drew a cartoon. I did a cartoon, right?
Give the straight boy some credit, guys.
We would like a biscuit. We would like a biscuit when we do things well,
You do it.
Give a cookie.
People are noticing. The Guardian is writing better articles about it. Even James, we know that James O'Brien is not the greatest at the moment, but he did.
But he has actually been a little bit better about it.
Be better at it. And a lot of law firms are doing pro bono work. Trans communities working together for the first time. We've been in quite a divided tribe, and now they're all working and sharing information. I'm thinking that there's lots of MPs writing out to trans groups and asking questions. The letter writing campaigns have been really successful. You should write to your MP if they're a Conservative. You should keep writing to the Cabinet Office. You should keep those letters. Keep writing to the Equality and Human Rights Commission. Keep writing to the Women and Inequalities. Just keep that pressure up. It's working. It really is working. And this handful of gender critics. Remember, on the Supreme Court day, there was less than 30 on the steps. We put 30,000 on the streets 2 days later. In London. So it is happening. I mean, I think it's just the groundswell is beginning to form. That Neon group, I don't know who they are, but some women just got together and went, not in our name, 33,000 signatures in a couple of weeks. And it's growing, and it's not widely circulated. It will be. And I think that's amazing. So we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
One Angry Pagan's asking if you've got a YouTube channel. No, Rachel doesn't have. I don't think.
I don't know anything. I don't want any social media because every time I end up in the Telegraph. So I just I work quietly away in the background. I'm more fundraising for other organizations now. And I do consult. I don't do much more public. I'm almost retired. I'm nearly 60 now. So I'm just
liar.
Your time traveling keeps you looking young.
Yeah,
Oh
well,
my
that's
God, the
HRT. You see.
We've got Wayne in the chat. Hey, Wayne, how you doing?
Dum,
milk.
dum,
Hello.
dum.
Hello, Wayne.
HRT.
Yeah, I'm live at work.
The fastest
Hey.
milkman in the southeast.
Damn
Are you in the milk van?
I am.
Hey,
cool.
It's a bit
How
early
cool
for
is that?
milk, right?
got
This is a
milk.
first, a live broadcast from the Essex Milk Deliveries.
This
Exactly.
is straight out of a 1970s porn.
Oh, yeah. You wait till I find out that housewife who's locked out in her dressing gown.
Yeah, that's why.
This is where we start seeing all these suspicious babies that start to look a bit like Wayne.
Yes.
Literally Wayne Maker.
All the babies come out. Oi, you get.
Yeah.
Who was it? Who was it? Was it George Foreman who called all his boys George? He had like 7 boys and they were all called George.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, that's easier.
And a
Just
grill,
easier.
and a grill.
Easy to remember. It's like when you went out with someone and then you go out with someone else who has the same name as the person that you look. Because I got into so much trouble in the past, like accidentally saying the wrong name in certain situations.
I had
Intimate
an
partner.
ex-boyfriend with the same surname.
Oh
as me.
no.
Yeah, the
Just
partner
say
with the
baby.
same
Don't say
surname.
names.
Yeah, same surname. I was very scared.
Eleanor Roosevelt married to Franklin D. Roosevelt. Her maiden name was Roosevelt.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because they
were
were
cousins.
related.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Meet my
possibly.
wife and my
Good
sister.
master.
Here she is.
Reminds me of that Blackadder sketch where he married Mrs. Ploppy. And you're a Ploppy, and you're a Ploppy. That's
Yeah.
right. Imagine that.
What are the chances? So yeah, there's other shit been going on. This has been a mad week, like an absolutely mad week. We had that horrific plane crash. Now everyone is asking to have seat number 11A when they fly. One survivor, straight out of fucking Unbreakable or something.
You know
but-
what's bothering me about that, and
What?
it's going to be a weird, sort of a little weird rant on my part in the sense.
Here we go.
The only people I'm hearing about, and it might be because of my algorithm and who I am, are the gay couple, the white gay couple, seem to be the big story on the 2 of the people that were lost in this flight. And
That could
it's
be your
sad.
algorithm, Scott,
It
because
could be,
I've not
because
seen that story.
Yeah, that's all I'm kind of seeing on it, and I'm like,
I saw that.
this flight from India, right, with lots of Indian nationals and British Indian people, and all I'm hearing about are the 2 white guys.
Me too. The 2 gay
I
guys.
thought
that
it
was-
was weird. I thought it was really strange.
Yeah.
we got a chat in from Dog 4x4, £2 super chat. Thank you. Bent brother here saying I want to rock. Cheers for that.
Rock. Dun, 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 dun,
Very good.
Hayden Pud saying Fearless is the movie you're thinking of, Graham. Yeah, but also in Unbreakable. It's Unbreakable, isn't it? With
I hated that.
Bruce
film.
Willis.
Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, where
Oh.
he's the sole survivor.
2 great actors in a crap film.
It's
And
not
a
as
really
crap as
good
the
anyone
sequels,
Final
mate.
Destination.
But
I don't
wasn't
wanna-
that part of M. Night Shyamalan's trilogy with Glass as
Yeah,
well?
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is shite.
When you put it all together, they're pretty good. I like
There
them.
was a,
Really?
there
Oh
was a-
yeah.
The last movie, they're like, let's have a fight, and I lifted up a car, and someone filmed it on their phone, and now everyone's seen it, and they know that superheroes exist, and I'm like, everyone's just gonna look at that and go, oh, it's CGI, mate.
I don't know how you watch films because you cannot suspend disbelief unless it's you saying the disbelievable thing. No one can have fantasy around Graham. He pokes holes in it. It's not good enough. Why aren't you more creative?
Yeah.
This should have been made in Brighton. This is you.
I watched the
What it's like
best.
I mean, I agree with that though, Mikey. That's true.
I watched the best
Everything
series.
should be made in Brighton.
I binged the best series that I've seen for a very long time.
Breaking Bad.
This week, which was Scavenger's Reign on Netflix. It's an animation. It's a 12-part animation. It's about a group of survivors on a different planet, and this is a really, really alien planet. It's super fucking
But it's
alien.
people. But it's clear,
amazing.
it's people with like cell art over them, right?
No,
It
no,
looks
no.
like-
It's a
Let me see.
animation.
It's traditional
Looks a bit
animation.
like anime. Yeah.
Yeah, look, it reminded me a bit of like Belle and Sebastian, the Mysterious
Yeah.
Lost Cities of Gold.
Yeah.
Willy Fogg kind of.
Yeah, I
animation.
did. You
That was
introduced me
weird
to it
show.
this week, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's
Just
people that's people on a green screen. The one of those guys, the black guy, he's doing the voice acting and the model acting. He did a tabletop role playing podcast, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to check out his show. I watched like the first 20 minutes of it, and I fell asleep. That's it. Yeah, like they acted that.
Oh well,
and then they like drew over them.
Scavenger's Reign.
It's really good.
One of the things I complain about a lot in sci-fi movies is that they go to a planet and it's a desert planet, or it's a jungle planet, or it's a sea planet, or it's a it's a city planet.
Can't all be set in Brighton.
Yeah, but they never feel particularly alien. You know, it's like, oh my god, that's such an alien world. Where everything in this is just like really, really fucking alien, and you watch it go, what the hell? And all these creatures, all this flora and fauna, and you don't know what's going to kill you, what's going to try and lay an egg in you, what's a parasite, what's going to,
or what you can plug into a battery,
what you can plug into a battery. You know, it really drew me in. It's quite gruesome in some parts, but also it's quite beautiful as well. And the other show that I watched this week, I watched a Mike Judge show, which came out a couple of months ago, called
King of the Hill.
Sorry,
King of the Hill.
No. This is a new show called Common Side Effects, and it's about a guy who discovers this mushroom that can cure any illness.
Well, he's gonna get black bagged.
Well, yeah, you'll have to watch the show, but it's very, very good. That's a bit trippy as well. But yeah, I
don't make those kind of discoveries publicly.
I will really, really recommend.
Very Mike Judge. Very Mike Judge. Looking at the pictures.
Yes, it is very Mike Judge. The heads are too big. Brad W, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Coming soon, a live performance of The Human Centipede where Musk begs for Trump's forgiveness.
Amazing.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, that's going to happen.
There's an image.
Oh, thanks for that.
What did we do to you? Like, what was that for?
On the animation front, Rachel, you might be pleased to hear that CBeebies are going to make a Doctor Who animated series.
I haven't watched much TV. I've been reading. I have a new book.
What a book!
Oh, that looks interesting.
Hey! Scott, has it been signed?
Not yet. I just need to unstick a few of the pages.
Okay, cool.
All right, hold on.
That Vegas chapter was spicy.
Do you know what you can do? You can get the audio book and you can listen to my dulcet tones.
I
you don't have to bother.
That.
Yeah.
You should listen to the last chapter where he goes, and we had to go to the pyramids, and then we had to get out here in a minute.
I was running out of time in the recording studio.
And then it was ending the end. Bye. Okay, I'll turn the lights out. Bye, everybody.
Literally, that was the end of it. There was in the building that I was in, it normally closed at like 7:00, and I was nowhere near finished. But there was a wedding because there was function rooms and stuff, and there was a wedding, and that was going on till 1:00. And literally, I said the last word, and there was a knock on the door. It was a security guard saying, "I'm locking up. You need to go." And I was like, I just saved it and just left. That was it. So yes, the end of it is quite breathless. But yeah, it suits the story because I'm trying to race to the pyramids to get there for midnight.
I love you. I know. The end.
I haven't read about the author yet. Hold on.
Go on.
About the author.
Tell me about the author.
He is a ginger twat. No, sorry.
Yes, that sounds right.
As an original member of Team Odyssey, Graham asked if I would take a crack at writing his about the author.
Oh, this goes on for quite a long time, Scott. We'll be here all night. Essentially, he's a gobshite, but then fun stuff happens when he's about. So I forgive him. I
didn't know that was there though. So I am gonna start reading it.
Good.
Scott, I've got a few books piled up next to the bed. So
Scott, you might as well already because nothing's happened in the news this week, so we ain't got nothing to talk about.
No.
Wayne, have you rubbed Vaseline on your camera or something, mate? Like, what is going on?
No, it's my front-facing camera because I'm in my van. I'll see what I can do.
Front-facing. What do you wipe on your camera, bruv?
It's the background filter.
It's the background filter.
Is that a background filter you got on?
Yeah, I think
what
Zoom's
are you trying to hide?
Made by KY Jelly.
What am I trying to hide? Mainly branding from my firm. So
is there branding on the back of the truck behind your head?
I was going to say, Wayne, are you actually okay doing this? Can we just check that this isn't going to be used as evidence?
No, I'm absolutely fine. It's just I can't load my truck till 10:30. So
Okay.
That's a
I have
lot
a super
earlier
chat.
than I would have thought. But yeah.
I have a super chat, $5 super chat from Kay. Early happy Father's Day to all the bin/bin adjacent papas and to all fellas showing good examples of non-toxic masculinity. Heart emoji, flex emoji, flex emoji, flex emoji. Thank you very much, Kay.
thank you.
I've also got a super chat from Chris C. Joanna says, your PayPal account, please. No, Joanna's got my PayPal account, so thank you very much to Chris. I've got to check my PayPal account, so I'll do that. What else has happened this week? So we've had Trump, we've had the sheriff telling he's got to kill everyone. We've had
The senator arrested.
We must talk about that.
and we're kicking off a
Spending
massive
review.
war in the Middle East between Israel and Iran. We started last night.
We had a
1:15.
spending review as well.
We had a spending review here in the UK.
Reform wasting time, calling it a special meeting of Leicester County Council
That was excellent.
to
I saw your
discuss flags.
I saw your
And that
video
was
on
it.
that, Ollie.
What?
Was it about pride
Lasted a
flags?
grand total of 8 minutes.
Was it about pride flags?
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Well, did they want more, Ollie? Did they want more?
Oh well.
yeah, we'll
you
send
know,
them some.
to be a bit spicy, just to be a bit spicy, they might even fly the regimental flag. Spicy.
It's such a bullshit argument, that isn't it? What about the veterans? We don't celebrate veterans constantly. Like, you know what I mean? It's so dumb.
It dismisses
Just homophobia is so boring.
it dismisses the gay veterans, doesn't it? It's,
literally that. Like, there were lots of gay veterans that died for this country. Some we castrated.
Why do they want to fly the British flag? I'm assuming don't they want to fly the flag of their side during the Second World War?
Did you see Trump with Mertz at the beginning of the week?
Yeah.
Where he's saying, we went to France, they were celebrating winning the war. They didn't win the war, it was us. And then he turns around to Mertz.
Must be a bad day for you, eh?
Yeah. Mertz says Trump says that must have been a bad day. And Mertz says, well, no, it
we're
was quite a
not
good day.
Nazis
We got rid of the Nazis, basically. Yeah, sure.
I just want to say a huge thank you to Joanna. I've just checked; it has gone through PayPal. If you don't want to get a super chat on here, you can get it through PayPal. The name that you need to use should be at the bottom of the description here. It's just Graham David Hughes. And there should be a picture of me, so you're sending it to the right person. So thanks very much for that, Joanna. I really appreciate it. Sorry, where were we? We were talking about the war, weren't we? Which war? The war.
Back to the war.
Back to the war.
We always talk about the damn war.
So, no, not the war, but
well, we did win, Scott.
The things that are kicking off.
War.
Oh, I've got to say thank you to Mike as well, because Mike has made me a beautiful trans-inclusive LGBT flag, Spitfire, 3D model of a Spitfire. It looks fucking amazing, and that's going to make a constituent part of my Glastonbury flag this year.
And I've just got
So I take
a
it
bunch
there'll
of
be no
them
show next
into
week.
shops in
look
Brighton. Hang on,
look at that.
Can you see that?
Oh, I like it.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Am I
It's
flying
these-
that one?
No, it's got Action Man in this one.
It's got
I've
Action
to
Man.
generalize it a bit more.
In the one he made for me, I'm flying it.
Can't you fly that flag just outside Leicestershire County Council just to really annoy
It's
them?
going to say, look out for it at the festival. It's going to say woke as fuck. And I'm going to try and get a picture of me and Kate Nash holding the flag together.
Hey.
Perfect.
That's going to be my mission. That's going to be my Glasgow mission this year.
I take a no show next week, yeah? You'll be gone.
No, it's 2 weeks' time.
Oh, it's
And got to say thank you to Mike again, because Mike's going to produce it in a couple of weeks' time. Aren't you, Mike? I'm dropping him in it now. He's like, am I?
Well, I am now. Yeah.
Fuck me, I won't go to Glastonbury then.
Is your on-air audition?
I'll be on it. I'll be at Glasgow. I'll come on and say hello.
You can dial in, and Wayne from his milk float will be doing like an international OB broadcast.
You can rub Vaseline on your.
Oh yeah, I'll be doing like the Keith Jegwin section, running around delivering milk.
Keith Jegwin
reading out super chats.
Take his face pop.
He was a Scouser, wasn't he? Was he Scouse?
Yeah, I think, yeah,
Keith Jegwin was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Another
Swap shop.
And he famously did that show on Channel 5 where he was in the Starkers, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was very grim.
Oh God, Naked Jungle. Naked Jungle,
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
He did it again in Extras, I think it was. He sat in front of Ricky Gervais in a close-up.
Couple of things I noticed this week. Channel 4 doing a show called Virgin Island, where they put virgins on an island together to see if they have sex.
So weird.
And the other thing is that McDonald's have got an ad, right? And they use the theme, the song Danger High Voltage by the Electric Six in the McDonald's ad. Can anyone see a problem with using that song in a McDonald's ad? Does it maybe refer to another fast food outlet in the lyrics of that song?
Does it? I don't know.
Yeah, it says fire in the disco, fire in the Taco Bell.
Really?
Not in the McDonald's.
I was getting to it. I was going through the lyrics in my head.
But yeah, I thought that was a bit weird.
All I could say in my head was that hilarious video that they did for it. I just thought it was hilariously
with
funny.
the guy and the girl that were really weird looking.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Because it was Jack White's voice,
Jack
wasn't
White's
it?
voice, yeah.
Because it was a duet, wasn't it? But it had a woman doing his voice on the video, and they were on a moose. They were riding a moose. That was great.
Yeah, they were sitting in like a drawing room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really
absolutely
weird.
great song. Absolutely great song. Classic, absolute stone
Roscoe's
cold
Gay
classic.
Bar.
Can we talk about Sabrina Carpenter?
What about her?
Well, she's got a new album out. It's causing some kerfuffle because
I've never heard
it's
it.
a little bit Spinal Tap.
I wouldn't know if she got a song about Stonehenge.
No, in Spinal Tap, there's that scene where the feminist is saying, the front cover of your album is disgusting. It's a woman on all fours, and there's a leather glove and all this, right? So
Smell the glove.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The
I
image
saw
on
Super Tansky
literally
posted
one of my
about this
favorite
earlier
films.
today.
So it's Sabrina Carpenter, and it's basically it's called Man's Best Friend, and she's on all fours, being held by her hair by someone standing up, which could be a woman. We don't know, but. And so feminists are like a little bit, what the fuck about this?
Well, wouldn't it be more
the
of
Sabrina
a feminist
Carpenter sphere
thing?
is losing their
Wouldn't it be more of
minds.
a feminist thing to actually say she's a woman and she can do that if she wants?
Yes.
That's not how modern feminism works, I think, Scott.
But no, it's about choice. You could be a feminist and say, oh, someone wants to stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom and have a traditional role. A woman should be allowed to do that. That I'm sure is a feminist stance, and it's a feminist stance in its own right.
It should be a choice, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Was Sabrina Carpenter forced onto the floor, held by her hair, and had forced pictures taken? That's my question.
It appears that way from the photographic evidence, but I imagine she was not unwilling to take part.
Yeah. She's posted it on her Facebook, on her Twitter, on her whatever.
Seems proud of it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's a fun cover. But there was also a nod and a wink to it on the front cover of the Strokes album, Is This It? Which had a woman's hand with a glove on it, on her bottom, which was a reference to Spinal Tap.
I hate to be a killjoy on this, but don't you think that the fact that we're talking about it and it was in all the newspapers is quite relevant to all of this?
Yeah, it works.
Like it's a choice, isn't it? It gets everyone talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you know the album's out. So.
And this is why I was having a bit of a sort of like mad one with good old Piers Morgan the other day, because he was kicking off about Greta Thunberg's.
Is he on your milk round? Is that how it works?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Piers, fucking hell!
Oh, you mug. No, he was kicking off about Greta Thunberg going to Israel or Gaza and saying, "Oh, well, this is just a cheap publicity stunt." I'm like, mug, you're talking about it, so it's working.
It kind of worked.
Yeah,
that whole thing kind of worked.
Well, that's what the problem was with Just Stop Oil. They did stuff that I thought was great because it got the publicity, but then they did stuff that was fucking stupid because yes, it got publicity, but it pissed off more people than it enchanted into the movement.
It depends who you piss off. With an album, if you piss off the Daily Mail, that's great.
Yeah,
basically, that's ideal, isn't it? But if you piss off the Guardian, that probably is the wrong target.
Is it though? Is it?
But just
I don't know.
Just Stop Oil piss anybody off.
Smash hits. If you piss off smash hits, you're in trouble. That's the problem.
I don't think they did piss anybody off. I think they pissed off the Daily Mail and the Times and the Telegraph and the Tory government. But when the tractor drivers and the farmers were doing it, nobody said a fucking thing.
No, it's always it's very chosen, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I mean that was my joke the other day when we were saying it's taking 8 hours to get an ambulance, and and I said, get just stop all to march outside your house. There'll be an ambulance there then. Apparently there always is one. When just stop bullet there.
Yeah. All right, guys, I've got to shoot off. I've got a load because I've got to make everyone's breakfast magical.
Clean your phone.
Get out, Wayne.
Yeah, get the
KY
KY.
Get the KY off your phone.
It's blurred background. It's blurred background. That's all it is.
Go on, Wayne.
Thank you.
Empty
Thank
your
you for
load.
your service, Wayne.
I'm going to go into some
Wayne.
all my creamy loads all over Essex.
I just
Don't
tried to make
splurge
it
all
so
over
the
Essex.
screen, so Wayne was big on the screen, but because everyone else was talking and it was on speaker mode, you didn't get to see him. I'm sorry, sorry, Wayne. That was your big moment.
All right, thank you very much.
You're a legend, mate.
I'll see you later.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye, Wayne.
Bye.
See ya.
Oh,
Already gone. Let's talk about
one
him.
thing out.
Industrious Wayne.
Can I just point one thing out? He didn't swear once.
he did.
No, because he's sober, because he's driving a fucking milk float and he can't be drunk. Do you know what I mean?
He was around.
That
There
makes
was
all the difference.
there was a normie in his presence. So if he was his true self around them, they'd be like, "Get out of the truck, mate! No, you're walking back. No, I'm not riding with you." But
That job's a killer job. I really admire him for taking it on.
That's
To
a
be
hard
honest
job
with
to do.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Carrying around milk, fuck that.
So I'm just gonna bring on this. Just gonna bring on the Sabrina Carpenter picture. Can I show everyone at home?
Oh,
you won't be
I
able to
can
see it
look
on the
this up.
chat, I don't think, but I'll bring it on. So people go,
Oh,
oh god,
great.
it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Oh shit, it's taking up the whole picture. Hang on, let me just press that. Okay, that's better.
Oh no!
and this
it's
is
Graham.
beating us talking about the war. You say, okay?
Yeah. So this
Yeah.
is the picture. This is the picture. That no one else can see. You can't see, but the people watching at home can see it. But yeah, this is causing all this controversy.
Riveting
at the moment.
conversation.
Oh come on, we can't just talk about politics all the time. We can talk about
It's
sexual
politics, social.
Yeah, okay, we can
Hey,
talk about sexual politics.
I'm painting here.
To be fair,
I wonder
sorry,
what you were
Ollie.
doing. I thought you were writing your memoir.
Did you want us to be quiet so you can concentrate?
I thought Ollie had a
To be-
pencil and a cassette tape. And he was winding it back.
yeah. To be fair, I didn't even know who she was.
True joy. I've
I
got a
think
true
it'd be
joy
quite
which only
fun.
hobbyists would understand. I've got some super glue on my fingers.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
Just enjoying peeling it off.
Oh
Ooh.
yes, nothing like peeling off super glue from your fingers. But yeah, no, I was going to say it'd be quite cool if Sabrina Carpenter then does the actual picture from the actual album and it's zoomed out and it's actually a woman who's holding. Yeah,
Oh.
that could be interesting. But I don't know if it's just going to happen. But
Has
it's
she
caused a lot of
explained it?
controversy or controversy. There's a lot of controversy over how to
Looking at
pronounce
that picture,
controversy
it is
or controversy.
totally designed to take up half a page in the Telegraph and the Mail so that they can reproduce it and go, look at this disgusting picture of a sexy woman with almost nothing on.
So-
has she explained it at all?
But she is wearing full clothes.
No, it's
So
Who
has
freaking
she-
cares? Y'all are so bored. She doesn't even have a tit out. Relax. Jeez.
So
Man, I
has
thought
she-
Americans were the prudes. Come on.
Has she
No
wound
one
up the
here is
right
being
people or
prudish
the wrong
about it.
people?
I no problem. I mean, but I'm a bloke. I don't really have. I don't know if I should have an opinion on this, but yeah, I like Sabrina Carpenter. I think she's cool. I'm going to see Mates. I'm going to see Charlie XCX. I'm going to see Olivia Rodrigo. I'm going to see Gracie Abrams. I don't know how she got her start. You know, it was a real riches to riches story, being the daughter of J.J. Abrams, the director of the new Star Wars and Star Trek movies.
Hey.
Yeah.
I don't know any of these people, so it all went over
Hey.
my head.
Remember,
Talking of-
remember when Ludacris had a whole ass song about going down on girls and everybody loved that shit? Y'all need to relax. Yeah, music videos, that was crazy. Everybody getting all uptight about stuff. Y'all are fine. Relax.
I'm not.
Called fun. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about you. I'm talking about them.
I'm-
the people
I'm-
who
I'm
are
deep-
upset. They just gotta
I
have
am
some.
deeply
Let
offended.
people have fun.
I'm offended
Have you
that
heard
you're
of fun?
offended.
Yeah, I
Jeez.
can
How about
tell,
that?
Mike.
How about that, eh?
Anybody
do
ever
that,
had
did you?
fun before? Shit.
So yeah, we're going to go back to the war then. Do you want to stop talking about Sabrina Carpenter and talk about the war?
Don't talk about the war.
Don't mention
Yeah.
the
War
war.
in Los
Don't
Angeles.
mention
Did
the
it
war.
once.
Well, I
I
mean,
was all gassed up for war today.
so last night.
I even brought my white supremacists.
I
Are we
think-
talking about the Iranian thing, or are we talking
Yeah.
about America's internal war?
Well, both. But I was going to mention Israel versus Iran at the moment because that's going back and forth. Do you think this will fizzle out to nothing, or do you think this will have legs?
Fizzle out to nothing.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think either of them have got any significant backing from anywhere, have they really? Like Trump is going to back Netanyahu quietly, I guess, and Putin's going to back Iran quietly.
He was pretty brazen about backing him earlier.
He pretty much told him to do it.
Yeah.
Trump, America will have known about this.
Did we forget about the AI Trump Gaza video? Like his handprints are all over this shit. Yeah. Just fucking hit the strike. It's fine. I'll cover you. We'll send over Pete Hegseth. He's very handsome from Fox News on the weekend. Like,
yes,
fuck this guy. Like, they did this shit on purpose.
If you want any extra help, go speak to Pete on Signal.
and then they're gonna try to play victim. Like, look, we were just blowing up some apartment buildings where they were enriching uranium. Like, this is not. Yeah. You can't. Whatever juice or motion or smokescreen they had previously has been swept away in the last 19 months. It's gone.
Yeah.
Everyone sees the bones of the dead kids and the canisters, spent canisters on the ground with USA made in the USA stamped on them. We're at the full-on Iron Man moment. So welcome to villainhood is all I can say. We're them. We're officially the villains. And everyone in Western Europe is complicit, unfortunately.
Yeah. I do love the idea that Trump genuinely believed he was going to bring peace to the Middle East and he was going to bring peace to Ukraine. And he was going to get
He's a dove president. He's a dove.
That's what someone said to me. Like, they went, what war? He's the only president who never started the war. And I was just like,
remember when he dropped the Moab? That's the mother of all bombs for one person.
Yeah.
It's like a multi-million-dollar munition, and he blew up a mountainside for one person.
What wars did Obama start?
He started the war on Christmas.
The war on Easter. Every Easter here, we have a tradition where we whinge about the fact it doesn't say Easter eggs on Easter eggs, which actually say Easter eggs on them.
He did want to go into Syria. Didn't he want to go into Syria? Then he couldn't get.
Well,
that's true.
Abandoned Syria, didn't he?
But he wanted to go in, but he couldn't get approval.
He left the Kurdish rebels.
Well, no, Trump did. Trump left the rebels. Obama just couldn't go in. Didn't want to go into Syria.
Yeah,
couldn't get the support to go into Syria.
And I love how Trump has done a complete 180 on former Taliban member who overthrew Syria. He's like, this guy is great. Yeah. We should give him a chance. Like, you were just motherfucking him. Like, you were just saying how awful and terrible all of these. Everyone from this whole region is dog shit. You know, this guy's great, and I'm going to take all the sanctions. It's like, okay, this is what we meant. Like the migrant caravan. The migrant caravans coming up. This is what it looks like when America meddles in someone else's foreign affairs, and then a decade later, there's all this fallout. This is exactly what we did in Central America, and that's why we had a migrant wave, because we completely destabilized those regions, and dictators and warlords and cartels took it over because we got involved. Instead of helping the systems, the bureaucracies that exist, as boring and as tedious, and maybe they don't agree with you sometimes, and you don't get everything you want, but then they have elections, and then you do get what. That's how the world runs smoothly. But you're just gonna come in there and hammer everything. Good luck, everybody. I bet you Israel's flights are booked for the next fucking 3 weeks. Everyone is out of there. This is not gonna play well.
Mikey,
sorry, Mike.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What do you Americans call this when I've got a beer in both hands?
Double fisting, baby.
Sorry. Anyway, so Mike, you were going to say something.
Connotation in the UK, that.
or if
very different
it's
connotation.
the same connotation in America, guys. You know,
if you're a gamer, you would say it's a kimbo, or dual wield.
Oh well, that's not as bad.
That's not so bad.
Yeah.
Like it's two swords. You're dual wielding.
Okay. Don't cross the swords.
Yeah.
Don't cross the streams. Don't cross the live streams. So I was talking to Phil Morehouse, and he's going to start doing some more live streaming. which is good.
Yes.
Because it seems to be the way that a lot of YouTubers are going now. They're doing longer form live streams and then clipping the bits from the live streams to be the pre-records, which I think is quite a sensible idea, actually. I really like the fact that YouTube allows you to do something that you just can't do with traditional media, which is to have a two-way conversation and bring the people in the chat into the conversation. So we've got Paula Thomas saying parade may happen. I think you mean may not happen because of the forecast of lightning.
Yeah.
So this should be quite interesting. Oh, hey, Ollie, we've got a second Ollie. We have two Ollies. You wait ages for an Ollie to come along and then two come at once. Ollie in Canada, how you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm doing excellent.
Oh, fantastic. Good to hear it. How's things on Prince Edward Island?
They're very good. I just got off the disc golf course a few minutes ago.
I have a question.
What's that?
Has Prince Edward ever been to Prince Edward Island?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Because there is a Prince Edward.
It's possibly rhetorical, just for the gag. I think. Yeah. You didn't need to answer. Okay.
It'd be cool, though. If I had a place that was named my name, if there was a place called Graham Hughes Land, I would totally go there.
You got Ginger Island. Yeah. You got Ginger Island.
I do.
Your name is Ginger now. You heard, Mike.
Torchwood is saying, I'm stealing your hat. You're not stealing my hat. This is my hat. You can't steal my hat.
It was your hat.
All about my hat.
And Full More Music just says, Maya Conda, Steve, Maya Conda, Steve, and Steve is in capitals. It's so random. I love it. I have no idea what people are talking about. Ian says, how many countries has Iran invaded? I know America in a little over 200 years of independence has invaded over 200 countries. I don't think there aren't 200 countries, so it can't have invaded.
I was going to say.
And I've done some several times.
We hold the record. Hey, you know.
Yeah, Britain, sit down. Shut up. Britain holds the record for invading the most countries and fucking up the most countries, because a lot of the problems that countries face to this very day are a legacy of Britain mucking about, moving people around, doing naughty things. I don't know. Paul says Iran is now sending drones into Israel. Yeah, I know people in Tel Aviv and in Jerusalem who are having to get into the air raid shelters. Great, isn't it?
It's all fun. Graham, I have to go in a sec, but I wanted to. Came on for I said come on for an hour to attract 10. I failed to do that. There you go.
No, but it was because she was too hot.
Yeah,
he was tempted.
I'm sitting in. It's boiling here. I'm in the middle of a thunderstorm here.
Oh wow, that's so cool!
I think it's coming up this way.
We had one of those here yesterday.
Yeah,
big
thanks, Rach. Thank you so much.
But so I wanted just to mention the Kennedy Center, Trump going to see Les Miserables.
Yes, we'll talk about that.
I mean, the drag queens all turned up. They asked him if he was, who he was, which character did he identify with? Because he's seen it, it's his favorite, and he couldn't remember any of the characters, and asked me, everyone's going, we all know who you are, mate. And he obviously got booed when he arrived. I mean, it's a really good clip to watch.
It was really fun. It was really fun. There was a woman shouting up at him, wasn't there? Yeah. And she was saying she was shouting up at him that he's a dictator or something, and she called him a rapist. And then another woman came over and was trying to get her to shut up, and she just looked at this woman and went, "Shut up, Nazi! Get away from me!"
That was brilliant. Shut up, Nazi!
I was like, tell it like it is.
Yeah, that's going on the soundboard.
Anyway, thanks, Rachel. You're a legend.
Good to see you all. Thanks very much.
Thanks for coming out,
Rich.
Bye. Okay, so we've still got Ollie and Ollie. We've still got Mike and Mikey, and we've still got Scott and Darren.
Scotty.
Scotty.
Darren, can you change your name to Scotty?
It would be easier.
Yeah.
Can you do it, Captain? I don't have the power. It's okay. We're in space. Just turn the engines off and you'll continue at the same speed. Dark 4x4, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Oh, what fun we had. But at the time, it seemed so bad. Trying different ways to make a difference to the days.
Talking of musicals, I went to see Madness, the musical.
Oh, wow.
10, 15 years ago.
Is this when you met Suggs? You met Graham McPherson?
No. But it lasted about a week, that musical. But it was good.
Did no one go see it?
It was just the Madness playbook, and the story of the Band of Madness.
Yeah, I mean, there were a whole range of musicals that happened at that time. Whereas the Queen one was the big one.
ABBA.
There was
Mamma
a
Mia.
Meatloaf one.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there was a Green Day one as well.
A friend of mine was in a Sandy Shore one that just revolved around a record shop that people visited over 5 decades. They said it just, well, it wasn't, because the entire book was literally so that we can play all of Sandy Shore's songs.
Oh, okay.
We'll just set it over 4 decades, basically.
But I mean, telling the Madness story with their songs, that doesn't sound so good. So what you want to do is like Mamma Mia, where it's got nothing to do with ABBA. They just sing the songs from ABBA. So you need like something like Quadrophenia, and it's all like the mods, but it's like the 1980s, and you know, and
you need a good book, and it should be a black and white love story, shouldn't it? Really, or something like that. That's what it should have been.
Yeah, should have been. Yeah, love in a time of fucking racism. Joanna says, anyone who remember when one side would fire 2 days later, the other one, etc., would, etc., etc. It appears now they're doing it every few hours. Well, it's technology for you, isn't it? And one angry pagan says, my trans lady friend Libby loved Madness, although she did admit Queen was superior. Lol. No. And Torchwood says, fine, I'm shaving everyone on chat and then stealing your hat and pagans' beanies. Okay.
Do it.
Gotta find me first.
What's Torchwood FNAF taking tonight? Because he seems to be writing a Dr. Seuss poem as he's going along here. I'm shaving everyone on chat and then stealing in your hat. And pagans' beanies.
I do not like that man.
I do not like pagans' beanies. I do not like them one bit.
Well, if you're going to shave me, you're not starting with my face.
Well, person impersonator Specials Madness Selector was a good gig. £1.50. Newport Stowaway Club, circa 1979.
What is that guy, 80 years old or something?
That must have been an amazing gig.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. We did mention at the top of the show, by the way, everyone who joined us a bit later on, that we were just giving respects to Brian Wilson, the Mozart of America, who passed away this week. They reckon he went mad because he had all these tunes in his head, and there was just no way of expressing them with our earthly instruments. If he'd been born on an alien planet, he would have been making all this sound.
You want to hear something sadder? And this is why I hate AI. Eventually, our composers are going to get so good, and the people will get so dumb, and they'll never be able to appreciate it. They're like their lines are tangent at this point because people refuse to like actually learn hard things and understand music in a way that's like, I don't know, like they learn math, you know what I mean? Like everybody learns extra math that they never use, but they don't spend like, a month learning some music theory so they can truly appreciate how complicated some of the things people make for them instead of, oh, that sounds a bit funny. So like the compositional arts are dying because
totally
people
agree.
are.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's just eventually people won't even, that's why I say this AI dribble is bad, is because it's already hard for people. Like there's way more there's a longer line for like a Fast and the Furious movie than a violin concerto. Like that's just the way it is, right? So eventually there's not going to be any more concerto.
The majesty that is Vin Diesel.
That's what you call family.
I think that a bigger threat, and I don't think it's a zero-sum game, I think they can both be a threat, but it's Nepo babies. It's the fact that if you want your kid to learn an instrument now in school, you have to pay. And a lot of working class families just cannot afford to pay for their kids to learn guitar or, learn piano. Okay, well, we need a keyboard, we need a piano at home so they can learn on. And they're fucking expensive, And if you're living on minimum wage, and it's hard to just keep that fucking house cold or hot.
When I used to take lessons, it were £10 for half hour.
Yeah.
And when you're looking after a family of 3 kids, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
My brother's doing guitar lessons. It's £75 for the month. He does it once a week.
Wow,
for like an hour.
And this is why, one of the reasons why, the other thing is connections as well. A lot of the new artists coming up have come from money. You know, their mummy and daddy have been quite well off and been able to pay for them to learn. And I'm quiet.
Yeah, you started to fade away there.
Sorry, I was just mumbling. I'm really tired. I don't know. I have a fucking sleeping sickness this week or something. I just keep falling asleep at like weird times. I think I got narcolepsy. I'm a narky bastard. But yeah, I feel like that there is stuff that the government could be doing now, not just making sure that AI doesn't steal all our copyrights, but also
it isn't. I mean, I love this argument, as you know, and I take either side of it as often as I can, basically. But isn't this exactly what was said when DJ music became a thing, when produced computer music became a thing, when Stock Aitken and Waterman became a thing, when sampling became a thing, that everybody said it was the end?
No, they weren't defunding the music programs.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the difference.
I mean, I hear you, but Disney have come out today, all guns blazing in the courts, to take on ChatGPT and the AI engines, and that's where it will be fought. It's going to be fought at the big copyright owners end to get the laws changed. It won't be the small guys. Hopefully, we'll all benefit from the fact that they get a grip on it.
Yeah.
But it will resolve itself. Copyright law is too important in the States, in particular, basically.
But yeah, we talked about this before. When synthesizers came out, you had the classical musicians saying no one's going to want us to play the violin anymore, and they do, exactly. Because synthesizer doesn't sound like a violin.
Using someone else's previously wrong argument doesn't really apply here. You know what I'm saying? Because when all the kids when the kids start to listen to AI music that they make themselves, that's based on other people, they're not going to come out of the bubble. They're never going to come out. You know what I mean? And so then all of their shit's going to be TikTok and AI, and they're not going to come out.
I don't see that.
At all costs, I stopped the building of the bubble. And we're like, a bubble is not going to come if they just start making a circle or dome around themselves, and then it meets in the center at the top at the zenith. Like, that is what's going to happen. This isn't like, you know, a new instrument is made, which I would say the other thing. These aren't instruments. They don't make anything. They steal things. Like, that's like the premise that it's a tool and an instrument in the creative arts, I think, is just...
No, it's not. It
hasn't happened since the 90s with EDM. Like, the Prodigy stole all of their samples to put the Chemical Brothers stole all their samples to put their music together. It was something like Fatboy Slim, Moby. They took someone else's song and they took bits from that song and put a clip from a film and a clip from this and a clip from that, and they put it all together to make a song.
But it's not just random radio bits, right?
I mean, no, someone put it together, but I'm saying that
it's artistically crafted, right?
Yeah, but Stella Soul took like 30 years to clear all the copyrights.
There has to be a nuanced Hughes to it. You have to look at it in one way or another and say that essentially, isn't it democratization of these tools? That there is you're going to put it in the hands of more people. And the kids that Graham was talking about that can't afford.
It sounds like you're liberating my wallet. That's what it sounds like. No, I'm not robbing you. I'm liberating the wallet from your pants. Like, it's the same.
I just think I've been around a bit. I've been around for a few digital revolutions, and I've seen jobs disappear. I've seen people have to change careers midway in the creative industries, etc. I was having lunch with a guy this morning. He's a filmmaker and he's worried about AI. He thinks that jobs are disappearing because of it, and I think they are. I think there definitely will be jobs in the music
I've lost
industry,
work to
film
AI
industry
already.
that will disappear. Absolutely, I think there will be.
Yeah.
But that has happened before. I've been responsible for it myself. I've introduced tech into companies where people have lost their jobs as a result.
You bastard.
Yeah, I know, but it changes. It just, that's what happens as technology comes in. And I think we've got to be careful in terms of saying, what do we do, Mikey? Do we put the lid back on and just say, forget it, we're not going to use this stuff ever? Because that's so unlikely. But it's so unlikely.
No, it won't happen though.
For the same, Graham just said, excuse me, that it's really expensive for kids to have instruments. They are taking the money that they could be using to invest in the children who are the future, who that's the real technology we want to bring to the forefront. But instead of giving it to them, No. I have a robot that's going to do it, and then I'll just keep the profits from everything that the robot does. It is theft. It is generational theft.
I'm never going to go and pay to see a robot perform a fucking song. I'm just not going to do it. I'll pay
They
to
don't
see
need
gigs.
you to.
I'll
They
go
don't
to a
need you
gig every
to.
week till I die.
60,000 kids younger than you are going to stream that shit, so they don't need you to buy a ticket.
No one's
They
going
don't
to go to
need
gigs.
I would
They don't care
absolutely
about
go and
gigs.
see Marvin the Paranoid Android Sings the Blues.
Okay, well, that's the exception.
20 pound super chat from K in chat. Thank you. Very generous, K.
Thank
The
you.
AI shit takes other people's original work, puts it in a blender, and spits out a product that is pure aesthetic, alienated from any artistic meaning or intent of the work it stole from. It is whitewash by design.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Stock Aitken and Waterman, 1980s.
That's another thing. It sounds shit. Imagine going to a party and then someone's like, I've written a song on AI and you'll stand around the fucking phone while they play it.
You can
or
imagine that's
you're at
going
a
to
party
happen.
and someone's got a guitar and they start singing While My Guitar Gently Weeps or something. And everyone else fucking joins in. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
That's what you're looking at today, though, not what you're looking at in a couple of years down the road, because it's going to continue to improve.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to steal and more and take the better quality stuff and incorporate it.
I think it's
and
Achilles'
it's going to
heel.
become harder and harder for artists to fight back against it without laws.
Yeah, but we talked about Brian Wilson earlier. I saw an interview with Brian Wilson where he realized there's a song, I can't remember the song, it's apparently one of his favorites, but he played it over and over and over again, and then he realized that he'd actually lifted it from an old blues song. All right, that it was a riff that he'd lifted, and then he just put it into 10 songs and gave a credit to the original writer of that song all the way through. But I think you've got to look at it that these tools are probably useful. Most of us in this room have used them in one way or another. Have you used AI, Mikey? You've not used it at all. Never used ChatGPT.
Never. Never.
Well, Graham, I know you have.
Yeah,
but no. I want you to justify your claim first.
Drop me in it. You fucking out me on bloody live TV.
No. All right.
Hold on. Before we get too far afield. Hold on. Before we get too far afield, what do you mean? Like it's useful? How is it useful?
Let me just twist that one other way, right? Who in this room has ripped an album or got an illegal copy of a video? Right, so
illegal copy of video.
Not commenting on that.
So we've been ripping off the artists for decades, haven't we? We've been taping music and not paying for it for decades. So the artist has not been benefiting from that in any way, shape, or form, and that's been the nature of the music industry all the way through. If you regulate AI so that it has to say where it got its inspiration for that music from, and you have a system, an agreed international database of that copyright information, which is perfectly technically possible for us to do, then people can get attributed to the content that they created in the first place. Paul McCartney can still be a multi-billionaire on the back of his songs because people have ripped them off or AI has been used to rip them off. There is a way to do it, and I think there's a genuine democratization. It's like back in the 90s, I was charging. We were building websites for people like Channel 4, and we were charging 20 or 30 grand a week to build websites for people. And nowadays you can go and build one for a fucking $5, basically.
I do.
Or free.
Got about 27 of the bastards.
That technology has transformed it and transformed the internet at the same time. And so that, I'm not arguing in total favor of it. I think there's a lot of problems with it. I do think we need to be regulating it as we go.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's sensible for us to say we should put the lid back on this because that's impossible.
Well, I couldn't create as much content
too.
as I do without AI. Because I absolutely rely on it now for my, to put my show, but to give me a list of things to talk about in my show. It doesn't come up with a script for me. God, it's shite at writing scripts. Oh my God, it's fucking awful.
Terrible, yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to be particularly good, but it's got no sense of context. But just to be able to wake up in the morning, 7 o'clock, copy and paste some articles into ChatGPT and say, can you give me this in bulleted form? When I did Hughes the World, where I was talking about every country in the world in alphabetical order, one per week, it would take me all day on Thursdays to do my notes because I'd have my Lonely Planets out. I'd dictate into my phone and I'd have like speech to text going, then I'd copy that into, and then I'd have to I'd put that into a Google Doc, and then I'd spend about an hour correcting all the fucking mistakes because it wasn't quite grasping what I was saying because it was trying to sort out each word. Now, in the last couple of years, because of AI, for instance, Kat's job has got a lot easier because the subtitles on stuff have got so much better because it looks at sentences rather than individual noises and tries to work out what the word is. So it gets the actual context a lot better than it used to. So even in that, it's like an everyday thing that me and Kat use. But I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do a morning show at 9 o'clock each morning if it wasn't for AI. So it's allowing me to be more creative at a smaller level. I do agree that it shouldn't be ripping off other artists, unless it says credited to them and they get some.
That is what it does by like. I don't know how you guys are thinking that it's going to be divorced from this. And to bring up your other point, Mike, did you go back? You're talking about people getting credits. Did you go back and pay for all the music that you listen to and all the movies that you watch? No, you didn't. You just went on with your life.
I've never ripped a video, because I worked in the TV industry and I know they need the money. So
he never stole a policeman's hat either or a car.
On that as well, I tried to go to the cinema every week, and it costs a lot of money to go to the fucking cinema. I try and support live music all the fucking time because I really love live music. I love going to gigs, love going to festivals. Always have. I've been to over 1,000 gigs in my life across like multiple countries. It's not even just this one. And like, I had a rule when I was a kid playing video games because you used to get pirated copies of stuff on the Amiga. And if I liked a game enough, I'd fucking go and buy it. Monkey Island, I went out and bloody bought the bastard game because I liked it so much.
I bought it like on every platform at this point. I was the same way. My buddy burned it for me on a disc, and I bought like a copy for every console that I've had because I need it on every computer.
But Mikey, I wouldn't have bought it if I hadn't played it. And then you've got this thing of like, okay, I'm on a cargo ship, right? And we're traveling across the ocean and we've got no internet, but they have a stack of VHS tapes. So can I watch The Transporter with fucking Jason Statham? Can I watch that movie on someone else's videotape, or is that stealing?
Well, arguably that's the difference between streaming and tapes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like we've moved from a culture where you could own a videotape or a DVD or a CD, and then you could give it to me as a gift, and then it would be mine for me to listen to, and you could no longer listen to it.
But what if I take it
off the TV?
What if it's loan?
Where we're just renting our music or video every month, basically.
But here's one.
Own it.
I've got The Shawshank Redemption on DVD. It was one of the first DVDs I ever owned. So this is late 90s. It's got no subtitles. So Kat hadn't seen it. So I wanted to watch it with her. We need subtitles. So can I stream that? Can I illegally download it with the subtitles when I own the DVD? I pay for the DVD. I saw us at the cinema. Like, have I not already paid my dues?
Play it on a PC and Google will automatically create some.
Like, I love all of these analogies, but I think they're still missing the point. There is no movie. It is putting surveillance equipment in your house and selling a movie of the surveillance equipment. It's not asked. There isn't any consent. There isn't any partnership. It's theft. And the more we keep talking about it like it's like a partnership, it's not. It's not. It's just by design, it isn't that. It takes what it can find publicly. That's not a partnership.
But
you know what I mean?
Mike is saying
that's not the same.
Is that there needs to be robust laws to stop them stealing stuff.
Okay, put the laws up first. I don't
need them to,
but they didn't
steal the Beach Boys or Disney films in order to give me a synopsis of what it says in a news report.
Yeah,
because and what you guys were saying about like the DVDs and stuff like that. You know what also used to happen? Famously, Dave Chappelle, way ahead of his time on this move, he said, "I want the DVD rights to my TV show. I'll take a small salary." And that turned out to be a way better idea because the Chappelle show, like seasons 1 and 2, is like the most and I think it beat Friends for like the most bought DVD set in the history of DVD sets. Good for him. You know what I mean? But he had a contract. He took the risk and he had a contract. They're not making any contracts. They're just saying, I get this because I can see this. So it's mine. And that's different. And also, Kay in the chat said, like, DJing is kind of like a collage and AI is more like homogenization. Like, it's not the same. So I get what you guys are saying. That's not what they're selling. You're selling something different than what they're selling. what they are using and implementing on people is not what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is a great thing to have a debate about. That's not what we're talking about, though. That's not what's in play.
No, and I agree with you.
That's what should. What
in an ideal world,
what should be in play.
If an ideal world, you could put the laws in place before they release the AI engine, but that doesn't happen, and has never happened with this tech. You constantly play catch up. But think about the Napster problem in the late 90s. Napster comes out, everybody is ripping their CDs and then sharing them peer to peer across the entire network. In fact, almost bringing down the internet.
And what was the response? And what was the response of the music? And what was the response of the music industry?
To lobby for legislation to stop that happening.
And live shows and merch became the thing.
Yeah, and
because I can guarantee you, in the early aughts, you bought 10 times as many band T-shirts as CDs that you bought. They changed the culture to make sure that was their loss leader, and you know what I'm saying. But then the industry can adapt. What is the adaptation now? That some weirdo in a fucking Iowa basement because I think, and I'll have to actually like remember to send you the video on this. A YouTuber made a video, had it unlisted, and he's a music producer. He fed that video to an AI, released the AI adjusted video first, then released his original video second. He got a copyright strike from the AI copying his own shit. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not so much that someone can go in and then plug in and as long as they register the video as that content ID, they can take Graham, and every time Graham streams, he's in violation of that person's copyright because Mikey, they sound too much like
that's already happened to Graham. Me. I've had copyright strikes from CNN, from BBC, from TED Talks, because I let them use my footage on my TED Talks. I used the footage. I let them use my footage when I was interviewed on BBC Breakfast and stuff.
Took down your use of that.
They took down my video of me that was filmed by myself with my camera because they're like, no, that was BBC. And I have to contest it every fucking time. So you're right. This is the sort of thing that we're going to have to fucking deal with. And it's why we need laws in place. I don't think there's, with all due respect, I don't think there's any point in debating putting the genie back in the bottle because it's not going to happen now because it's out there and the tech billionaires have put so much money into it. Why did I think Trump was going to win last year? Because all the billionaires were behind it. Why do I think AI is going to be pretty much fucking unstoppable? Because all the billionaires are behind it. So I want our governments, I don't know about yours at the moment, mate, but like ours over here, to be putting in robust laws to say you can't nick our shit. You have to credit it to whoever you take it from. I think that's...
But how are you going to catch them?
Because the AI can be used.
You're right, it's an enormous task.
Yeah,
but that's the problem. Yeah.
You can use AI to check if something's AI or not.
It's self-governance of robots.
I'll tell you what I've just turned on recently on my YouTube channel. I've turned on the automatic translation. So if someone from Germany is watching one of my videos, YouTube's AI will translate it
into
German. Give me a German voice
with a Yorkshire accent.
Oh yes.
K with the £10 super chat. Okay, with the
I come to fix your Hoover.
Okay, with a $10 super chat. Sorry, not pounds. Issue is not just that AI is theft in terms of commerce. Even when you pirate art, you, the audience, are in conversation with the art. AI reduces art to community and alienated artists from audience. I agree.
But I can't see AI ever replacing a live gig. I can't see it ever replacing the experience of, going to the cinema and watching a good movie. It'll only be like one of those, those shit fucking movies that they make when like Pirates of the Caribbean comes out and they make like Corsairs
of the Bahamas.
Of the Bahamas. Yeah. And it's just like fucking
bad guys in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
maybe
that's
like
the level
you and
of
your
stuff that AI is going to make.
Maybe like you and your friends are in like this, like we all go to concerts and support the arts and we work in TV and the industry. Like you're in that bubble, but
TikTok world
your bubble is rare. Like there's not a lot of your bubbles going around. Like I was in bands you know what I mean? And like my friends, like most of my friends are still in bands and stuff like that. It is not, people are not going to shows like that no more around here, at least. You know, like my bubble is dried up. Like the artists are not doing as well as they are doing over by you guys. And a lot of people don't go to live music, they just listen to music.
Sorry, Scott.
And a lot of times it's the radio.
I don't know what's going on in America.
You're very quiet, by the way, Scott.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on in America, but here, getting tickets for shows sell out very quickly. People are going to that's the one thing they're spending their money on is concerts and events. I think since the pandemic, there's definitely been a sort of like a FOMO sort of a vibe, and I think that it's really continued throughout the years. But you go, major festivals sell out very quickly, and so do huge concerts. I mean, recently we've had Beyonce here, and that has been I think she oversaturated it. She like did 10 shows. She's doing 10 shows in London, and people are wondering why there's empty seats. It's like, well, she's doing 10 shows. She's charging £300 a ticket. That, you know, that there has to be a give and take. But, you know, like the Metallica shows next year, they're going to sell out. It's I think definitely people are very much into here in England, Europe, into the experience still. It's all about the vibes and the experiencing, the making memories, etc. It's unfortunate to hear that in America, maybe that's not so much the case anymore.
Yeah. And just say, I know it might upset people watching and some of the people on the panel, but EDM always left me cold because it just sounded like a computer shouting at me. I didn't mind it when you actually had some lyricist, someone singing over the top. So Breathe or Firestarter by the Prodigy actually had someone singing on the track. It wasn't just dun 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 boop boop boop. It wasn't just a load of beeps and boops to me, and I never got into that because I found there was something I felt, and other people don't, and other people really love this kind of music, and you know, you like what you like, don't you? But I always felt that it didn't feel human. It felt like this is the future of music. I don't want to be part of that.
I've very much felt that way ever since Bing Crosby passed away.
Oh my lord.
Right, there's a name from the past.
What,
all
Bing
this
Crosby,
popular music
was he a famous
produced
EDM
on
guy?
machines?
What?
He was Microsoft's first search engine, I think.
Oh yes, that's the one. And also
Jeeves?
Chandler's surname in Friends.
Chandler Bong.
Chandler Bing.
So I mean, Chemical Brothers, the Setting Sun was I thought it was a great song. They had Noel Gallagher come and sing with them. I mean, it was like, I didn't have a problem with the background being electronic. It was just when the whole thing had no lyrics and it was just a sample.
Honestly, it's this is the proof positive. You don't get it. And that's fine. Like, everybody doesn't have to get it, but there's a whole like layer of art there that just isn't there for you. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, that's the point. Like, it needs to be experienceable, like Scott's saying, for each and every person.
Yeah. I mean, I like craft. Someone asked about Kraftwerk. I like Kraftwerk. I saw them a few years ago at the Blue Dot Festival. I've seen Prodigy live. I saw them in '97 at Glastonbury. I've seen Chemical Brothers live. I've been to a lot of gigs, you know, where there's been someone on a you know, DJ set. And I just find it a little bit weird if there's no one singing. It's just like two kind of geeky looking guys with records, and they're just moving knobs up and down and going like this.
Because you go to a concert to use your eyes. That's the problem. Like, it's the music. It's literally all about the music. So if there's not a person... Wow, go ahead. Tell me my point.
All right, no, go ahead, please.
Thank you.
Make your point.
So it's like, if you want to see, like, you know...
It's not like you've been speaking for like 5 minutes. I'm just saying.
Well, then I said finish my point then, Scott.
No, I wasn't. I'm not going to.
Well, then don't be passive-aggressive then.
I'm not being passive-aggressive. I blatantly said you have been talking.
Come on, guys. Let's calm down.
But go ahead, please.
But if you want to see like a metal band and you want to see the fucking cymbals moving and everybody's head banging. You see everyone's got the long hair, they got the dark clothes, the fucking red lights. It's a whole look. I get it. Your eyes are being pleased by that. EDM may or may not need eyes. That's what it's just different. So if you treat the sounds as colors, it's different. But that's a different, wavelength or vibration or whatever of way of interpreting and experiencing the art. It's just different. Go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry.
I think that no matter what kind of genre the music is, you have to, if you're going to put it in a live setting and you're going to have people stand in front of it, you have to give them something to look at. There has to be a connection somewhere, and people who are into EDM and into whatever style of electronic music it might be, and even if it is just one DJ on a stage, kind of just getting excited and playing a song, whatever, you've still got your lights, you got all of that sort of stuff going on.
And the big screens as well.
Huge screens now with pictures. And we've been doing that since electronic music has kind of started. So even when you look back at the old sort of Kraftwerk playing live, they had television screens. It was to give something to look at as well.
Because as the venues got bigger and bigger as well, you couldn't actually see anything on the stage anyway.
Yeah,
so
it's like this little guy on a table.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Get my telescope out. I'd like to see the singer now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, all I'm saying is I think with a live experience, you got to give things to look at. When I saw Prodigy in 1994, so before Fire started, right? So when it was just the it was Jilted Generation, right? Yeah. So it was the more sort of like industrial
jungle.
Yeah, jungle. All that mix. Less sing. They had songs for singing in it, but less. More sampled. So No Good Start.
It was a sampled song, like I'm gonna fight Jesus Christ with me. I invest on in it. Going out to outer space.
Yeah,
that was a sample from a '70s song, I think, was it?
Exactly, and so was No Good was a sample and things like that. So, but I'll tell you, still to this day, that was 1994. I haven't been to a better gig. I have not seen a better live act. They had dancers on the stage. They had interaction with the crowd. If you can bring that to life, it just elevates it so much more. And I think the Prodigy were actually groundbreaking in that.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I always had a soft spot for the Proj because I thought they were particularly good at it. But it's a bit one of those things. You're sitting next to someone on the bus and they've got some music in their ears and you can hear it, and it's just like
I can listen to. Sometimes I like to get up and I put my little disco house songs in my ears, and I'm ready to go. I'm sitting there, You've got to show me that. Yeah, I've got it in my ears. I got it going. I can feel it. And it's cool.
We have
I was too young for house.
I don't know if you guys have these in your area.
What did you say, Ollie? Sorry?
I was too young for house.
Too young for house.
Oh, he's just a baby.
In 1994, I was 4.
Oh God.
7.
In 1994, I had a 4-year-old child.
Was it Ollie?
Oh my God!
24.
Plot twist.
Where have you been?
My son.
Yeah.
My son.
Yeah,
Papa,
another failing,
Papa.
Mike.
Uppy, Papa.
Another failing.
Terrifying.
Tell me about it.
Crush it. Just.
I just to take it back to the AI sort of discussion and to finish it off, and we'll talk about something else. But I really do feel like the government needs to get on top of this, because this has happened so many times before where new technologies come out and it's just taking the piss. And Mikey's right to that extent. AI is taking the piss at the moment, and we need legislation in place to stop it taking the piss. Not least in fucking Mississippi, where they're killing people with the toxic fumes from his fucking gas generators of what's his name, Elon Musk's server farm that he's got there for his Grok fucking engine. Grok, which sounds like something we'll say in Liverpool to Grok up.
The stupidest name for anything. That's
Grokken in Liverpool.
It's because Musk is obsessed by Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, unfortunately.
Is that where it comes from?
Yeah, I just hate the guy.
We all do.
It's like Peter Thiel's obsessed with Lord of the Rings, isn't he?
Did somebody invade Peter Thiel's offices today? Did I read?
I don't know.
Yeah, apparently protesters broke into
Check the
Peter
stream,
Thiel's
Mikey.
office.
Yeah. What about that
What's
guy?
going
What about that senator who got arrested as well?
Yeah.
It ended.
Jesus Christ!
Well,
The
it's
weird
froze
thing
on my
about
end.
that
Froze
is
on my end anyway.
how surprised everyone was. There was like in the Congress building that there were people saying this is a disgrace and how dare they, and
Might be me.
They were so genuinely surprised that this has happened, and I was sort of sitting there going,
Didn't you see this coming?
Yeah, it's
I know,
back.
I
Yeah.
know what you mean. I know what you mean, Graham, because there just seemed to be a kid in that situation where
It's back now.
don't you get it? Don't you get it? Don't you see what's happening?
well, yeah. But then the thing was that there were no Republicans shouting out about it. There were no Republicans who seemed upset. And this is what the Democrats have got to get through their fucking thick skulls. This isn't cricket. You know, there's going to be no rematch next year if they lose.
Yeah, because I get the feeling. Do you remember when they did his speech after he won, and their idea of protest was to put up signs, and you just think, don't you get it?
No,
don't you get it? Can't you see what he's revealed what he's going to do? What are you doing about it? I remember watching the Bin podcast when they were doing his speech. I could see Tim Bristol losing his shit. Do something. Only one person stood up who made an absolute commotion and who were dragged out. And there's your moment for everybody else to say, "Come on, all for one for all." And they just sat there.
Yeah, absolutely.
They all should have walked out with
They
him.
should have all walked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the optics
out,
of that
we're
was
out.
it was a black guy, and it just played into the hands of the Republicans, didn't it? Angry black guy screams and shouts at Donald Trump, gets arrested.
And this is why my black ass won't be at no motherfucking protest anytime soon. Because as soon as the shit hits the fan, everyone says, "Wow, he was so brave." No, bitch, you were supposed to be in that fucking squad car with me. So no,
Yeah.
Everybody's looking out. Everybody's looking out for themselves. All right, bet. Look out for yourself. I'm gonna look out for myself. We'll see. We'll see how this turns out.
Is there a No Kings march in Chicago or near you?
Yeah.
Sure.
They're all there's so
They're
many.
everywhere.
There's 100. I think I heard there was 1,800 of them.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
I told the boys on Unbox yesterday. I was like, what they need to do is just have a counter protest like 2 blocks over and have a bunch of celebrities and just have a big party so no one's at his party.
Well,
just like where's
the
crowd?
I think it's one of those. It's
no,
one of those
they got
political.
the Jonas Brothers 2 doors down. We're having a good time. They got a water slide, and then just run down the street.
Well, that was a mad thing this week, wasn't it? The parade
Giving out
list
ice
had
cream
to come to be seat fillers at the parade.
Yeah,
they're being offered $1,000 worth of
Was
crap.
that real though?
Yeah, it was mentioned. It was mentioned in Congress yesterday.
It was, but I don't know if the Congress.
Nobody likes him.
But there were people saying that sign up for a seat and then just don't turn up.
Oh yeah. That's what they did with rallies.
Good for you, Scott.
Yeah. How many Russians bought those seats?
A buddy in the chat says he's going to be downtown Chicago tomorrow. Be safe, man.
Yeah, be safe.
And look out for cars and shit because these little domestic terrorists are using common objects to hurt people.
Yeah.
Be careful.
I think the No Kings movement is something that we should adopt, like we adopt most American strategies, basically. I'd like to see some No Kings marches in Windsor and London. And
well,
you have to change your song.
We've already got that.
Yeah.
No, we've only got one king, so we don't have any kings.
Oh, I see. So just no king then.
No king. Yeah, that would be us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's only one of them.
Well, Ollie, you could join us in that one as well.
Yeah.
Are you
just
implying
how
that
much
you've only
power
had
does
one king?
Charles have anyway? How much power does he have?
Our king.
None.
Yeah.
Fuck all.
Other than being immensely rich, how much power does he actually?
He makes exceedingly nice biscuits. And
He can declare war, and that's about it.
He owns
really.
the entire coast, doesn't
So
he?
what are you
Isn't
worried
that
about
right?
him for?
He owns all the fish and the swans.
It's because
he owns
He owns everything.
so much of the country.
most of Cornwall,
most of Cornwall,
huge chunks of Wales and London.
That he likes to his plants.
So just the sheer amount of land that he owns.
And he would quite like to be a tampon.
It's actually the patronage, Ollie, and I don't imagine it works this way in Canada, but it's the Lord.
You barely see.
He's over there. He doesn't do nothing. Right?
Exactly, but
he's got a representative in Parliament, and we talk to him, and we're doing
the Lord's
this,
ladies,
right?
knighthoods, the MBEs, the OBEs. It's the way that the elite reward themselves in this country, basically, and create their hierarchy.
Also, the army swears allegiance to the crown.
To the king.
They don't swear allegiance to Parliament. So if we ever do get a Trump-style leader, if Farage becomes Prime Minister and tells the army to go and shoot everyone who looks a bit DEI, they can legally say no.
And it's one of those things that Trump is proving in America.
Doesn't that also mean they can legally order the army to take out Parliament and say, okay, I'm taking back over now?
Right. And this is the point, and this is Edward VIII's story, which is relatively recent history, 70, 80 years ago, the Second World War, is that when you look at what Trump is doing by breaking all of the gentlemen's agreements that have kept America together, the three corners of American government together, he's breaking all of those gentlemen's agreements as the president to say, no, fuck it, I'll just do all of this. Ignore Congress and I'll ignore the courts. Theoretically, the king has the power to call a parliament, the power to call a war, the power to lead the army against his own people if he wanted to, basically. If you've got a bad king, if you've got a Nazi king like Edward, then theoretically he could do that. And they would only be gentlemen's agreements that he would be breaching. They're not constitutional, effectively. There's nothing written down to say what the power of the king is.
Can I just say,
so the king still does technically have the power then?
Yeah.
It's just he's allowing Parliament to govern for him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But then Parliament would come down in like a ton of bricks if he tried to do anything against him.
Yeah.
The monarch hasn't overridden
Parliament.
Them fluffy hats would be coming.
The monarch hasn't overridden Parliament since 1708, I think.
So aren't you overdue?
Scottish Militia Act, I think it was.
I think they're overdue.
We're definitely due. Yeah, I think you're right.
This volcano hasn't gone off in 10,000 years.
I think William has got some definite Nazi tendencies. I think when he comes to the throne, Kate will take over.
One of the things was from years back. This is even before the Glorious Revolution of 1688 and stuff like that. This is going back to the Magna Carta. Was the idea that the king couldn't raise revenue. The king needed Parliament to raise revenue. So if he wanted to start a war and have a fucking ship tax or a poll tax or whatever the fuck tax he wanted, he had to do that through Parliament. It was the way he could make money. So Parliament might not sit for months, years on end because the king didn't need any money. But this is something that Trump has just absolutely upended because he's the executive. He's effectively the king of America. And he has said that he's going to start revenue raising through these mad tariffs that he's putting on everyone without asking Parliament's Congress's permission.
How's that going for him?
It's going great. I mean, he's hardly dipped in the polls. All his mad shit that he's done, he hasn't lost a single voter, mate.
This is the thing about This is the thing about kings. Bitch, we didn't sign up. We didn't kiss no ring. We didn't take a knee. We didn't promise to do what you fucking said to do. So no one's doing it.
You get the Pledge of Allegiance every day in school for some reason. Nowhere else in the world does that. That's really weird.
Okay, saying 4 sentences doesn't mean that he gets to put tariffs on us. I don't know what that had to do with that. I mean, it's a silly phrase used to, let's all say this so that we can keep getting our state money. You know what I mean? Like that. Like they put that into schools to try to scare communists. And it's still there because no one fucking cares about the schools enough to fucking even give them instruments, let alone review the policies of saying the Pledge of Allegiance before shit. Like Can you
imagine trying to what politician would be able to get rid of it though? I can't imagine.
When the millennials get in there and the Gen X or the Gen Zs and the alphas, they're not gonna keep saying that shit. It's stupid.
I don't think you can generalize in the face of people like Charlie Kirk and. But yeah, there's plenty of right-wing Gen Z, Gen X.
That's why he runs for office all the time. He's been old enough to run for office for a long time, but he loves grifting more.
They'll find him. There's a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
we had this with
like
Fabio,
Darren
just
Grimes.
Yeah. That
They
now
came out
that
today.
people in this country who have been grifting for years now realize if they get into office they can grift even harder because it's just a convention saying don't be a twat, give up your peanut farm. It's just a fucking convention. You can ignore it. Put all your money in a blind trust. You can just ignore it. Produce your fucking accounts. Donald Trump never produced his accounts.
All of them should divest. All of them should divest. Every single member of Congress should divest.
Yeah, but they don't because it's just
Nancy
convention.
Pelosi,
and people like money.
A system like the Swedish system where everybody has to reveal their taxes every year.
Yeah, do it.
Total
Fucking do
democracy.
it. More people will feel
everybody
sorry
hiding?
for me and send me super chats. That'd be great.
And it's like, but the constant need for transparency on the side of the citizen and the complete opacity on the side of the elected officials, that shit is dying. Like you look at AOC, who's like, yeah, I was broke as shit, and I actually had to borrow money because I didn't have any clothes when I got elected because I didn't actually think I was going to win. That message is resonating. There's a girl, a young lady, I think she's like 31 or 2. She's in Illinois. She's not in my district, but yeah, she's running because she's like, the person here sucks, and I don't take any money, and I don't do this and that. She is blowing up and going viral on social media. She's going to win, and it's not even going to be close. She's going to blow this old lady out of the water. It is not even going to be close.
Good.
That's all it takes. I don't know why we have to bend our politics for donors and lobbyists and all this stuff. Brother, there's an algorithm now. Use that to your advantage. If we're going to keep all this bullshit theft devices running around the country, you might as well use it to your advantage. Like Bernie goes viral probably twice a month.
Yeah.
He's 900 years old.
Oh my god! Yeah. I saw Chuck Schumer respond to the senator who was dragged out. I just cringed so much.
Just resign.
Yeah. That's why I put my back out. Seeing Chuck Schumer like just this is unacceptable. And
no, wait. Pull your glasses down all the way like this.
Yeah.
So that they're barely. Yeah, there you go. There it is.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We will win.
A nice piece of fish. Anyway, yeah. So he's fucking. What do we need to do to these stupid old fucks in the Senate and the House of Representatives to get rid of them? Like, how can they not know that they are clogging up the fucking space for the younger generation that needs to come through? That is actually compass mentis and has a bit of fucking riz about them.
They got to go.
Yeah, but how do we get them to what needs to be said to them? Is every time they go on the fucking news or something to be interviewed, do they say
they need to take over the
wow,
party?
You're fucking old.
People are primarying them. They don't care about being part of the DNC. It doesn't like if you're not going because that was the main thing. The young people who wanted to primary someone who's established in the Democratic Party or whatever, the whole Democratic Party would swarm on them like locusts, flying honey badger locusts, and then would.
Oh, Mikey, we lost your sound.
The dog.
The dog came and said,
I think someone just rang the doorbell. I think we have a delivery. But anyway, the DNC would just bury the person, the new progressive person. They would just attack them viciously. Sometimes, in the case of my friend Zero. Fucking sake. Okay, got it. In case a buddy of mine ran against Nancy Pelosi, Shahid Buttar, and they launched a complete Islamophobic, pedophilic smear campaign on him, only to retract it after the damage had been done and he got 80,000 votes against her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like they've been actively trying to stop young people from coming up this entire time. The Republicans are the opposite. They'll grab an idiot off the street who's just barely old enough. There's a couple of like young dudes in Texas. Like I'm talking like 22. I mean, wet behind the ears, but they are sitting in the Texas state legislature.
Yeah.
We don't do that, or they don't do that on the left. They just say, no. I will be here until I'm dead. And then I will decide who gets to be my replacement. That's not democracy.
We've got to just change the subject slightly. We've got some reports coming in.
I have to go kick a dog.
Go and kick a dog. I'm live report from the milk trenches of Essex. It's raining sideways. Please help.
Raining sideways.
No, that hit me yesterday afternoon. So.
Andy Byrne says, though you've seen Trump's declarations read out by the Emperor from Star Wars, AI. I've not actually heard
absolutely
that
brilliant. Yeah.
Anne Phillips says the thunder isn't in the distance here; it's nearly overhead. Just saw a big lightning flash through the curtains.
That's all I've been catching it myself. Keep seeing it.
If you're very close to lightning, it does not sound like crack a boom. It sounds like bang. It sounds like a fucking. It sounds like a bomb going off. It's happened to me 3 times in my life where I've been really fucking close to a lightning bolt. Once in Indonesia and twice when I was in Panama.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And if you hear the crackle before the boom, you're far enough away from it to not worry.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you know when you do that thing and you go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi between the sound of the thunder, and then when there's like nothing there, it's just straight in. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway, so one of the other things that I was going to talk about tonight was Mikey's back. Hello, Mikey.
How's Zero?
Hello.
Why do they ring the doorbell after they deliver stuff? Just drop the shit off at the fucking door and leave, dude.
I was going to mention the Rachel Reeves's report, her spending review this week, but I don't know if our American and Canadian colleagues will give a shit about it. Do you want to talk about Rachel Reeves and the economy of Britain?
Wasn't she just here?
Who that is?
Rachel Reeves?
Yeah. No.
Was she in the States this week?
No,
she was in the States. Oh, no, you're Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel was just on the stream.
Of the Exchequer.
Yeah. Rachel's a chancellor.
Easily
Rachel
confused.
Reeves.
Often happens.
Different Rachel. I saw a tree got hit by lightning once. Unbelievable, said Oliver Brown. Yeah, that's Oliver, cool. Like the tree explodes. If it's a certain type of tree, the sap superheats and it fucking explodes. And it's fucking terrifying. Yeah. Especially if you're on an island on your own.
God, yeah, I bet.
You wouldn't know anything about that.
No, I wouldn't. But yeah,
and he woke the baby up.
Yeah. Were you talking? We had a question come in, Mikey, asking if you were talking about who is it? Kat Abigazela. Were you talking about her?
Yes.
Yes. I follow her on TikTok. She's very good.
Mm-hmm. I think she's from out west. She's over there by the Iowa border. She's not by me.
Oh,
cool.
Or northwest. But it's one of those smaller, because there's tons of Republican districts in Illinois. It's not a completely blue state. I don't think any of the states are completely blue.
Yeah.
No.
But I mean, the red states are red enough, aren't they? Oh, hang on.
Nope.
What happened?
That's
I think Darren fucked off. Darren got struck by lightning. Sorry, Darren.
That's part of the beauty.
I don't think it's there yet.
That's part of the beauty of the make us healthy, wealthy, and wise plan, or whatever the fuck that they're trying to fucking pull off. This is not going to work. This isn't like all of the blue districts where all the populated people, they're going to be able to build community and work together. They're out there in the boondocks talking about well, we don't need much, so you can cut as much as you like. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. One of us is wrong in this situation. I guess we're gonna just have to wait and find out.
Did you hear the good news this week, though?
There was good news.
Yeah. There's gonna be Spaceballs 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Rick Moranis. He's come back after being away for 30 years. Rick and fucking Mel Brooks, who's 99 this month, is gonna be in it.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a Yoda that's literally gonna be 700 years old. It's fucking.
There's a lot of Star Wars to take the piss out of in the last 35 years.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
there is.
So I'm quite excited about Bill Pullman's coming back as well. Obviously, John Candy's not coming back. Selfish.
And I can only imagine that it's going to be a Trump satire. Yeah, it's definitely going to be about Trump, isn't it?
For sure.
Vic Moranis was everywhere in the 1980s and 90s. Like he was in every comedy movie. It would have Vic Moranis in it.
And didn't he get a regular job?
Yeah.
What
His wife died, and he
wife got sick or something.
Yeah, his wife died, and he just wanted to raise his kids. But what I really respect about him is he read the script for like the new Ghostbusters movies, and he went, "This is a bit shit. This is just a cash grab. I don't want to be in this." Even though his kids are grown up now, he just went, "This is a bit shit." So the fact he's going to be in a Spaceballs movie just delights me. I fucking love Spaceballs. It's stupid and goofy and
must
shit.
mean the script is good this time.
Well, I mean,
no,
it's a Mel Brooks film, so it's going to be a bit.
Or working with Mel Brooks.
It was good last time. It depends on your humor.
Maybe making the last Mel Brooks movie. Maybe.
I really think Spaceballs. I think Spaceballs is really like the EDM of comedy. You know what I mean?
Oh Lord.
I was never into that kind of thing.
Yeah, you know.
Well, I got cool Spaceballs.
They just didn't have a soul.
I never got Anchorman. I just don't understand it. I can watch it. I can watch all of Anchorman and I won't laugh once. I just don't get it. But perversely or conversely,
go back to your home on.
I remember watching the Royal Tenenbaums with my girlfriend in Australia back in 2002 or something. And we were the only two people in the cinema laughing. Like, no one else was laughing. We were pissing ourselves because it was just our level of humour. But Anchorman just leaves me cold, mate.
Anchorman
I'm just wondering.
Ollie's dead.
I love Layup.
Oh, no, he's not. He's trying to suck his own cock. Right. Okay, anyway.
Okay.
Sorry.
Go on, Darren.
Sorry, Darren. Sorry.
I was just about to say, I noticed you were talking about Spaceball.
No in between.
I noticed you were talking about Spaceballs and they're saying they're bringing all the team back. I'm just wondering if they'll be bringing Mortmouth Jones and that guy who the squint-eyed gunner as well, as he's shoving them torpedoes up her nose instead of on her nose. Spaceballs.
Not so fun fact from Kay. The word boondocks comes from the Tagalog word for mountains and from the USA's genocidal war of Philippines war where they corralled people in the cities and exterminated anyone outside.
Sorry, boondocks. What are boondocks? We had that in the Goonies, wasn't it? Because they called them the Goondocks. What is boondocks? What does it mean?
Just the outskirts that's what it's always meant to me. But apparently
it's a Tagalog
of a word.
City is called the boondocks.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there's no docks there, it's not like you need to be at a port town.
No,
it was a term, not so much as like a listing of. Instead of a compound word, it was just a term.
We just don't have it over here, mate. So I'm just trying to understand what it means.
Right, we didn't literally
use it in the Goonies.
That's what I'm.
It's because they live.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't parse out the docks part of it. It was just the whole thing was just one phrase. You know what I mean? Like you separated it into. It's like
you've lost me.
You're separating. You're like separated into two parts. We just always treated it as one word, one thing. We never really thought about the docks part of the end of it. Like if someone's last name was something Smith, I wouldn't like, oh, so you make this. You know what I mean? I don't really like go straight to it.
So it's the inner city, the suburbs, and then the boondocks. Is that the way it works?
Or the boonies?
It comes from a Filipino word, bundok, which means mountain. And it was introduced to American English by the U.S. military personnel during the Philippine-American War, 1899 to 1902.
There you go.
Oh, thanks, thanks, Mike.
We call it the sticks. We say out in the sticks, so we have the inner city suburbs.
That's what it
you
means.
say that here.
Yeah.
Or the bush.
In Australia, it'll be the bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, back and beyond.
Or what do they say in Africa? Don't they say the bush too?
Yeah,
they do.
You think of Australia.
No, down in South Africa, Botswana, they'll call it the bush. So if you're from Botswana, you're in northern Botswana, and you're probably called the bushman. And then if you're eating stuff
because the earth is
fucked
flat
up in Australia, it's called bush tucker.
It tastes flat. Get it right.
Joe, I had bush tucker years before bloody I'm a Celebrity to get me out of here fucking started. I had witchessy grub pate. In 2006. Yeah, take that. I'm a Celebrity.
I was drinking Mountain Dew Code Red and eating pepperoni combos in high school that year.
Oh,
I was a senior.
Oh my god!
The world was my oyster.
Ollie wasn't even born, according to his timeline.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Ollie was a sophomore that year. I would have been pushing him. No, I was always nice. I was always nice to the younger people.
Oh no! Well,
I'm afraid to disagree with you. I was an old man then.
Yeah.
I was nice to them until they deserved not being nice to.
Royal Tenenbaums is the best, says Supertansky.
I never got it.
I
don't think she believes that, because she would have came in here and said it if that's what she actually believes. So.
Have the courage of your convictions, Tam.
Clearly AI.
I really
AI
want Gene
chatbot.
Hackman's tombstone to say that he died rescuing his family from a burning battleship. Come on, that'd be so cool. Be so good. I've not seen his new one yet. I haven't seen his new 2 actually. He did Rocket City or whatever it was called, and now he's got a new one out called the Boondock Scheme or something, isn't it? The Phoenician Scheme. That's the one. But I haven't seen that. Dark 4x4, have you seen Red Dwarf Promised Land yet? I've not seen it. I've not seen Red Dwarf Promised Land. It's the
When
new.
did that come out?
Red Dwarf. It came out about 2021, I think. Don't know.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Ollie, Bowler Hatman Ollie. The chat would like to see the figurine once more.
Which one?
Yes.
Yeah, you've been working on a bunch. So
they want to see see it closer, and they would like a little explanation of what you're working on there. Please and thank you.
Yeah, is it Warhammer or D&D?
Hold on, I have to.
I thought it was Warhammer.
Get my box back.
I think it is Warhammer. Yeah.
Oh, that's Warhammer. I see the Phoenix.
Yeah.
I see the Phoenix. Oh, and he kicked his camera.
You've killed Ollie.
You've killed your camera.
Oh my god.
He's knocked. It's just pointed down, mate.
What is?
Has he gone into macro mode?
Oh, dear.
Maybe he's getting. Maybe he's setting the scene for us. He's building suspense. Everybody, calm down.
They're in a dark cave.
Okay.
Destroy itself.
On the edges of fantasy forest. Everybody preparing an army in a dark cave.
Everybody excited now. I don't know what's going to happen.
Is it me or is Wayne returned?
Everybody close your eyes and look at your TV.
Ollie, what are you doing?
They look great, Ollie. They look really good.
That's amazing, Ollie.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No, thanks for that.
I've managed to somehow destroy my monitor. So my monitor has literally fallen off its stand.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh dear!
I just wanted to see them. I didn't say break them.
He was a figurine.
How do you feel now, Mikey? Look what you've done.
Oh no, he's gone!
no.
Oh fuck!
Still here.
I blame Billy Kershaw. Billy Kershaw made me say that, and Billy Kershaw. And here's an I Love Tesla for you.
I love Tesla.
He did it.
Billy.
I'll put Ollie down.
Hit that super chat button and send some money to Ollie.
We can still hear Ollie, but we can't see him anymore. It just says Ollie on the screen.
Maybe the figurines won the war.
Oh man, I feel really bad.
That's rotten.
I did have a question in the chat about what did it taste like, talking about witchy grub pate. It tasted like hummus. So now when I think of hummus,
so don't eat hummus.
I think witchy grub stuff. I've got a video of it. I got a video of me doing me bush tucker fucking trial. So I should put that online, shouldn't I?
Tengo una pregunta. What do you call the ingredient for hummus? You know, the
chickpeas.
You're back.
Ollie, you're alive.
Hey, Ollie. Fucking hell.
Now can we see the bloody soldiers?
I was so worried there, mate. I thought you were done for.
Like, yeah, I don't know how it happened, but like my monitor just decided to just jump off its stand. I'm like,
that's what they all say.
Literally had to like rebuild my entire.
It didn't break though, did it? It didn't
Luckily,
break.
Nothing's broke.
Okay, good.
All those extra screws, you know, when you put it together.
Show us your models.
A handful of screws that you had at the end.
Yeah, I don't need these. Yeah. Over the shoulder.
No, I've been painting some Blood Bowl stuff, but this is some stuff that I've painted before. So this is my.
Ooh, wow. He even knows the hand trick. Look at him. He knows.
Very, very good.
Okay, if he's showing us stuff, everyone's got to shut up because otherwise it goes to you on the speaker view. So everyone be quiet and let Ollie tell us what he's holding up to the camera.
Or Ollie, talk while you're doing it.
Yeah, talk while you're doing it.
Hang on, this is where I'm going to try and find where I put it now.
That is really cool.
We saw that. We know how this ends.
I've got a Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl team for those who are into the fantasy football. So these are the new positionals that have come out for the Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl team. So I've been painting them up. So they've basically got all the
You need to move it back a little bit because it's a little bit out of focus. Yeah, perfect.
They've got the base stuff, so I need to go in now and start doing some details.
And you painted that. You painted that.
Yeah. I've done this during the live stream.
That is fucking amazing. I know someone who pays good money for people to paint miniatures for him.
Would that be one Phil?
It would be one Phil Morehouse, yes, it would, because he can't be asked doing it himself.
And we have him backstage. Phil, come on out.
Hello, Phil, your life.
Now coming out of Ollie's back room, it is Phil Morehouse. We gave him your address.
If you want to see a Minotaur I painted for the Blood Bowl team.
Oh, nice. That's really nice work, mate.
Then he says nice and makes himself the picture. You know.
That's right.
No, because it doesn't go to me. It went to you, and it went to Ollie. It can't go to me because it's still on Ollie. Now it's on Scott. Because Scott had to talk. If Ollie wants to say anything, it will go back to Ollie.
Here's my goblin.
I don't want it to come to me. I don't want it on me, though.
Shut up then! Stop talking and it won't come to... Ollie, say something.
Everybody
No, not you, Ollie. The other one. Oh my god.
Oh, which Ollie?
This one. That's it, Ollie.
His screen. Pin it. You can.
I'm going on mute.
Don't switch to me, Graham.
Fucking
hell. No, it's got
Ollie, say something. Come back to us, Ollie.
This is kind of funny because this has got green on, so you can see it's disappearing a bit. It's the green screen.
That's really cool.
But that's my Blood Bowl troll.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
How do I tell him I like it if I can't talk?
Ian McCallum in the chat is saying Blood Bowl was the first big thing I ever nicked from the shop. Bloody, you nicked a copy of Blood Bowl from fucking Games Workshop. You cheeky fucker.
We go back to the AI argument all over again. Somebody spent hours and hours crafting that thing.
No, it's fine. Everybody steals, and then you'll just, eventually pay them back later. It's fine.
Martin is asking me if I remember the game shop by the tunnel entrance. Yeah, games. I totally remember that. I got my Lord of the Rings campaign books from that place, and also a bunch of my Lord of the Rings miniatures came from there as well. I had the Balrog, which is really cool. It came with wings that you had to stick on. They were like separate pieces that you had to actually stick to the miniature. It didn't come in all one piece.
Wow, that's really cool. Was that like in the 50s? Wow. Was it made out of lead?
80s. No, pewter. But yeah, it was lead. Yeah, if you licked it, you probably died.
Yeah, you would die.
Don't eat the miniature.
Just toxic.
I would quite like to do for us at some point a game of this.
We should do that.
Left RPG. Yeah. All right. Can we do that online?
Yeah. I'd have to maybe set it up and set a map up. And I could easily send you over the character sheets. Pretty simple. Yeah. Send over, but you can get it for free online.
Hey, Ollie, do you have a preferred online tabletop? We were using what's that one?
Roll20.
Yeah, we're using Roll20 for everything. Yeah, is there better ones?
Roll20 is all right. There's a couple though. Foundry's really, really good. I've got a friend who's really good at Foundry. It's really, really fiddly to begin with, but
that's really what I heard. I heard the learning curves way up there, but once you get it, you can make some like that. You can make some sick shit once you actually understand it.
And then there's alchemy as well.
We're going to have to change the subject now because I realise we've got no super chats in tonight. So we need to change it to something that's a bit more sexy. We've got to not talk about Dungeons and Dragons and Blood Bowl in Games Workshop.
Really cool.
Why not? To be fair,
what can we talk about that's going to bring the chat in? How much fucking hate Donald Trump and Nigel Farage? How much do you hate him, Ollie? Ollie, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate Nigel Farage?
Oh, quite. Oh, actually, do you want to hear some stuff about the Reform Council that I found out recently?
Okay, just bear that in mind for 1 second, because just as I said that, HK dropped £20 in the Super Chat Fund. Thank you so much, HK. If anyone else wants to drop some money in, there is a target, and then we'll keep blabbering probably past midnight. Anyway, Ollie, the floor is yours. Tell us what Refuck have been up to.
So,
the fuckers.
We're going to Leicestershire County Council on this because oh boy, is he the new leader has been up to some shenanigans where he was saying he wasn't really sure whether he wanted this new Doge unit in. And this has caused a bit of kerfuffle because Reform HQ has turned around and said, actually, no, you will be having the Doge unit and you'll be liking having the Doge units. So that's Nigel Farage just, whipping his local councillors into compliance for having Doge. So
it's fucking crazy. Like the amount that local councils have had their funding cut from central government, it's been like 50% since the Tories got in 2010. And like, they're going, we need to make some cut. What fucking savings are you going to make? You've got to spend more money on fucking consultants looking for savings and you got to fucking save. I'm like,
of course, the best one is the 19-year-old in charge of child services.
Well, put a child in charge of child services.
Did you know what his experience was for it? Don't worry, I was recently a child. Yeah, recently a child. Nice. So yeah, he's got all the experience for running child services.
But this is the big problem we've got here in Durham is we've got like 63 fuckers in the council, and none of them have got any fucking experience. And the guy who's in charge of our council here, I can't express this enough. His last company went bump, owing his creditors, and the fucking taxman £1 million. £1 million. How the fuck do you lose that much money? Like, how are you that shit? I mean, it was quite difficult for Brewster in Brewster's Millions to lose that kind of money. They made a movie about it.
But more importantly, did he bring his glasses to the next meeting? I remember the induction where it says, I haven't brought my glasses.
Oh, God, he couldn't read the names of the people who were going to be on the fucking council with him.
So, talking of which, hasn't Darren Grimes come out and said he refuses to do the DEI training?
Which he doesn't have to do.
And he said he's been suspended.
He's been suspended. He hasn't. Like, he's just milking this for clicks. He has not been suspended. And there is no fucking obligation for him to do DEI training. DEI training doesn't even fucking exist in this country because we don't call it DEI. That's an American
it's just mixed
term.
in with everything else.
So I have a counterplay. You guys should just like ask him about it. It's like, oh my God, so you're suspended today? What are you up to today? And just follow him around. Because it's like they say shit for attention. You want my fucking attention? Yeah. Tell me, actually detail the emails and shit like that they told you about the DII training. Let's see that, actually. You have completely enraptured us with the tale of your plight. Now describe it in detail. We're recording everything. Yeah. Make them describe the lies. Tell the whole lie then. Let's hear it, shall we?
He also described it as when he did his video announcing this, he said that he'd experienced stories from local people that were the most harrowing things he'd ever had to deal with in his professional career.
Oh, dear,
you were a fabric design student in Brighton, and then you were a grifter on YouTube. So you've definitely not met anyone that's been made homeless by the local council. You've definitely never done any of those things.
No. Have you seen the comment section?
Plus he was shagging him. Go on.
Yeah. Dog 4x4, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. You've had plenty, says Dog 4x4. You set the target after Rachel left. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. And Dog 4x4, another super chat. After saying that I've had plenty, thank you very much, Dog 4x4. Actually, that could be taken two ways. Discuss. Okay.
Context.
Context is everything. And apparently, if you want to annoy someone who likes Lord of the Rings, you say, I was all right, but Willow was better.
I'm not mad at that take. I have a deep spiritual connection to that movie. Like, I almost named Kira Kaya because I thought that was the prettiest name I had ever heard. And she was so nice and she was so good with the baby. Like, I love everything about that movie. So
Matt Mardigan was a fucking awesome
dude.
character.
Matt Mardigan is the goat.
But
the greatest swordsman
did
that's ever
anyone
lived.
watch?
It's a lot like
did anyone watch?
EDM.
Did anyone watch the TV series?
I didn't make it through the first episode.
A little bit.
I made about 14 to 18 minutes into the first episode, and I was like,
It was fucking awful. Although it did have a little person whose name was Graham Hughes in the TV show.
Did it?
Who I'm friends with on Facebook.
Of course you are, because I hope everybody adds all the same people with the same name, so that you can hopefully one day make a club, so that you can have like your own first and last name club, and then you guys can have like a convention hall, and then everybody shows up with the same name tag on it. It'd be so fucking confusing. But God, it's fun to be alive.
Yes, I did it back in 2007, so it was 18 years ago.
That's kind of what I thought Facebook was for in 2007. I've got a number of Mike Dixes around the world.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike.
Apparently, there's a lot of actors named Mike Dix. Let's just look into the.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, don't Google that. No. Safe search, Mikey.
Wow, there's a long list of gentlemen here, and they are scantily clad.
All the time.
How is he holding that beach towel up? Oh God!
I'm pleased to say I come up quite high in that search.
Did anyone? did anyone see the TV show with Warwick Davis in called Life's Too Short?
Yeah,
I really liked that. I really liked it.
That was a Ricky Gervais.
It was Ricky Gervais. He's
Scott,
unfortunate now, but
you're not supposed to laugh at that part.
It was good. I liked it. It had a heart to it.
We can't laugh at that part, Scott. We're supposed to laugh at the other part. Stop, Scott.
HK is asking if the other Grahams have islands. Sadly, not. Unfortunately,
What?
There isn't anyone with an island.
That would be quite fun if you did.
No island for you.
Scott's broken.
Phonebox Chicken says sounds like Dave Gorman. Yeah, Dave Gorman went around the world meeting everyone called Dave Gorman, didn't he?
He did.
Which I think it's really cool. I think my mind just blew a fuse, says Pete Music. Ooh.
Scott, they got a follow-up show called The Long and Short of It.
Shut the fuck up.
It's a wrap-up podcast about that.
Have we lost Scott to the fact that Warwick Davis was in a TV show called Life's Too Short? Is this what's killing Scott right now?
And then the podcast about it is The Long and Short of It, the making of Life's Too Short.
It was fucking great. It was a funny TV show.
Vendetta points out in the chat that Warwick Davis lives in Yaxley, which is the village I grew up in.
What, you grew up in Tommy Robinson?
I grew up in a town loosely named after the same family as Tommy Robinson.
Yeah. Oh god! Did Tommy Robinson go to private school? He looks like he did.
K in the chat says LMAO, and here I was so mad they disappeared the Willow show before I got to see it. Good to hear I didn't miss much. Let me tell you something. Your memory is preserved. Mine
Honestly,
has been damaged.
It's so like we endeavored for a few episodes. We weren't just 17 minutes.
No, it wasn't good.
We went in for a few episodes because it was like, well, we're in for a penny. I don't like abandoning things halfway through, but oh my god, this was like a ginger stepchild. It just needed to be abandoned in the snow.
It was the Willow equivalent of the live action Lion King, or like the CGI Lion King. I didn't finish that either. As soon as they said Hakuna Matata, I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Tansky, thank you very much, Super Tansky, for the £2 super chat. I've tried to find Mike's dick on Google search. I think you're in there, mate.
There's a missing apostrophe there, Tan. I think.
Anyway,
Greg, can you just put the link in the chat for it? Is that
for your dick?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Mike Dix at OnlyFans.
Is your dick on the internet? Is there any danger of your dick being on the internet, Mike?
No.
Yes.
I did have to think about that, didn't I?
You're absolutely sure. You're absolutely certain.
You didn't seem quite sure.
I trust all the people that possess that picture.
So and as long as my monthly stipend is paid.
Yeah,
as long as that check keeps coming in, we got no problems.
That's why I'm kind of glad that I'm just not like some high level of celebrity or politician or something where people dig up stuff on my past, because that could worry me. I mean, there could be stuff out there. I don't fucking know.
The amount of nudes people could find of me is insane.
What gets me in this situation is
do you lean into it?
Tanner's just paid $1.99 to Graham to get a picture of my dick. That doesn't seem the way that it works. I'm not sure that's how it works.
Mate. You shortchanged him, Tan. It should have been £2. 2 whole pounds.
I'm your pimp. This is brilliant. I've always wanted to be a pimp.
I was about to say, just DM me. It's fine.
And since it was $1.99, you're an awful low value commodity.
Scott, do not get your penis out. Scott, put it away.
I was going to get my penis. I was going to DM Mike. Send a little DM.
This is a family show for family people. Lucas says, no matter how bad a show is, it should never be completely deleted from being found. People worked hard on it and need to show off their work. Yeah, I absolutely agree, which is why I wish the BBC would undelete my fucking show that they used to have on YouTube many moons ago, but they don't anymore. So no one in Britain can watch it.
I mean, let's just put this in context. They kept all the racist parts in Peter Pan up, and the show is gone.
What?
You know what I mean? Like, that's where we're at.
So you explain that. I don't understand.
There's horribly racist parts in the Peter Pan thing on Disney Plus, the Peter Pan movie from the 50s or 40s, whenever it was. That stayed in, but the Willow reboot, no, pull that off the app. We don't want to
Oh, I see what you're saying. So
they left that.
Was it on Disney Plus? Was it Disney Plus?
Yeah.
And they just got rid of it. You just can't watch it anymore. They're like, no, that never happened. But yeah, I mean, Dogma's been re-released at cinemas this summer, isn't it? Because that was unavailable for many, many years because the rights were owned by Harvey Weinstein, and so you couldn't get it on Blu-ray or.
He must not have enough money for Trump to pardon him.
Wow.
I heard Diddy's trying to get a pardon. R. Kelly's trying to get a pardon. All the little sex pests are trying to get pardons.
Yes.
Birds of a feather, you know.
Lots of people are getting pardons, though. Lots of people are getting pardons in America. I mean,
but here's the funny thing:
fucking rioters on their.
Well, they needed ICE agents. They needed ICE agents.
Has any president pardoned so many people before this?
Are ICE agents.
What?
Sorry, Ollie. All the
kind of hard to think.
Go ahead.
Sorry. All I was saying was, has any president even come close to pardoning so many people in the past? I have no idea, but
no,
doesn't seem like
quickly,
it.
I think.
Let's see. 1,500 rioters.
No,
which is just an obscene
not to worry people, but Iran is striking back again.
Yes,
at right in Tel Aviv.
I was just reading that, as you just said. 1 minute ago, the news came up that Israelis are permitted to leave their shelters after the latest Iranian missile attack.
FDR has the most pardons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't he pardon a lot of?
3,687.
Who did he pardon? Insurrectionists.
Scrolling.
I think it was a lot of the people that marched. I think they were good pardons. Somebody mentioned it in a podcast the other day.
The only good pardon is a dead pardon.
I knew you were going to say that.
Pardon?
Or a pardon me after a funny noise.
Pardon?
Or a pardon me after some funny noise you just made. Pardon?
Pardon? I keep making this joke until it's not funny anymore. Which was before I started it. Oliver Brown says, I saw one of those hypersonic missiles hit Tel Aviv earlier. It must have caused a huge amount of damage. This is, it's not great, is it? And what if Russia goes in on the side of Iran on all this?
They probably have to. Tehran has vowed to open the gates of hell upon Israel.
That's what they wanted.
According to the Guardian,
it's now
and they think Trump's going to defend them. Wait till Trump sees that bill. He's going to be like, "Whoa!" Actually, y'all should talk it out.
It's about 2 a.m. in Israel right now, and there's been large explosions in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem.
What do you do though in a situation where there's a war and you're not particularly keen on either side? We're just
popcorn?
observers, aren't we, to this? Just kind of going, well, it's a
we
shame civilians are going to get caught up in this.
We supply both sides with weapons. That's what we did in the Iran-Iraq war. We can do that again. We don't care who wins. Let's just supply you with weapons.
Going back to Rachel Reeves' new military complex that we're creating, everybody's going to get a job making bullets and missiles, aren't we? Apparently,
yeah, we can.
I think a lot of FDR's pardons were bootleggers, because he was president during the end of Prohibition.
Oh, there we go. That makes sense.
Okay,
that's like non-violent drugs offenses. Should not be people in jail.
Yeah.
No. There's way too many black people in there. So no. We're not gonna. Easy. So, they got to stay in there.
Iran has fired dozens of missiles in the past hour, according to Israel. What do they expect? Like, what did the Israelis expect? They attack Iran, and Iran are going to retaliate. Of course they're going to do. What are they going to do? Just sit there and go, no. Well, all right. Then.
It's funny though. Do you remember the last time?
Apartment buildings.
When was it? Sort of December time or something? This happened, or January, and Iran announced that they were going to fire missiles, and then the missiles appeared to be in the air for about 24 hours before they actually hit. It was just like the weirdest thing ever. They said,
because
we
last time,
a load of missiles, and
last time that happened, that was all shadow boxing. They were like, "Look, you've said this, we'll said this. Tell you what, we'll target this area where we know there's nothing
where
there.
they're going.
We'll target this area, and we'll just have some like some proper banter." Shall we say between countries just with missiles? Yeah, except this time it's real. It's kicking off. This is how you get war in the Middle East. And
what a time to be alive.
Yeah, and depressingly, you've got Pete Hegseth in charge.
Yeah,
I saw that hearing today.
So Pete Hegseth has been up in front of Congress, and he is just as awful as you could possibly fucking imagine.
Was he sober?
No, possibly not. But he's very good at not answering a fucking question. He's asked a yes or no question, and he just won't answer it. He'll just blame everyone else but himself and say the problem is that the Democrats did these terrible things.
Well, and the Russian question that he was trying to not answer yesterday as well, that was the worst, where he just refused to say that Russia was the bad guy. Basically.
Oh, yeah.
It would be really bad if there was like, I don't know, a dirty internet line in the Secretary of Defense's office. And then maybe like, I don't know, a film studio adjacent to it so he could do his Fox hits. Man, it's almost like someone could have a direct line from outside of the administration's watch. They could have like a direct line. I wonder if that's why they had that law and that rule where there's no outside communication inside the Pentagon. But suddenly there isn't.
But he rigged out that studio really cheaply with those Huawei cameras.
And he's got a makeup studio as well.
Yeah.
All right.
And he's just fired 3 people today as well. He's fired his like top 3 advisors.
Look,
I get the feeling with Hegseth is going to come down with a Matt Hancock defeat, isn't he? There's going to be film of him shagging somebody in that studio, basically, while he's drunk.
in his makeup studio.
And when that young man runs out of there,
yeah, exactly.
he'll say that he was assaulted by that young man, and he has no idea what was going on there.
Yeah, he was a terrorist. Definitely a terrorist.
What you're missing, Mikey, is that young man is going to be cosplaying as a couch.
JD Vance, we pulled the couch mask off.
So, Boy George has responded to J.K. Rowling.
This is amazing. I'm literally reading it right
J.K. Rowling said, "There is no living as a woman. There is only living while being a woman or performing a male idea of what a woman is while being a man." To which Boy George has written a bunch of stuff about this Supreme Court ruling, but this is the takeaway. Ladies and gentlemen, and those of you still deciding, there are 2 types of people: nice people and cunts. Boy George, thank you. What a fucking legend! What an absolute legend! And
he really rips into her. Actually, this is your endless comments about how rich you are. It's depressing and tacky and proves that you are desperate to mean something, but sadly, you're just mean. It's like, He really is like going for her.
Oh,
why don't you buy a nice Scottish island or a farm and start a JK commune for traumatized turfs?
Oh, wow.
Or listen to your fellow Scot, Sydney Banks, and he will hopefully help you understand that this is all in your head.
Who in the chat said that they should call it the dairy farm? That's mean. Don't call it a dairy farm.
What, a dairy farm?
The commune.
The commune. Why would it be a dairy farm?
All right, I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. I missed that one. Sorry, I just didn't get it. It was a bit like it was Anchorman all over again. I felt really embarrassed about not laughing at Anchorman.
Wow, he called me Will Ferrell. What an asshole.
Your home on Whore Island.
Yeah.
What? Hey? Who called you what? I didn't call anyone anything. What have I done?
Called me Will Ferrell. William J. Farrell.
Did I? Can't remember doing that.
You told him that he resembled Anchorman, who was Will Ferrell, right?
I didn't say
he said I look just like William Joseph Farrell.
I didn't get
Shut up, Will Farrell. Stop interrupting. That's what he said.
I didn't find it funny. I didn't get the jokes, and I felt really stupid because everyone else was laughing and I wasn't laughing.
Graham, I just think you should. Come on, just take it back. Just say sorry to Mikey for calling him Will Farrell.
I didn't call him Will Farrell. What is even happening right now?
We're all witness. We're all witness.
You're not. Play back the tape. Play back the tape. Oh my God.
I just don't know how to do. What should I do in this situation? Like, I want to stand up for myself, you know.
I think you could.
But I think
redress through the courts is your only option. I think libel laws in the UK are so much better than they are in the States.
But like, this is the problem with like the left, right? Like, when an ally attacks you and calls you William Joseph Farrell III, like, what are you supposed to do in this situation?
Who even is that?
Shake and bake.
I don't even know what's happening right now. What is going on?
That's right. You're right.
Did you see
I should shake and bake.
Recommended things to watch. Watch Trevor Noah's podcast on YouTube, where he interviews Jon Stewart for about an hour and a half, and it is one of the best conversations I've heard on any of the subjects that they discuss. It's just amazing. Amazing pair of guys.
Who's that?
I think Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah interviewing Jon Stewart.
Yeah,
basically. And it's a well worth an hour of your time just to sit and listen to them talk about what's wrong with the left, how Trump got to where he's got, and then lots
Biden
of insights into running the shows.
Biden could have literally killed him and got away with it.
So here's my problem. Like, Trevor Noah took over for Jon Stewart, right? And then like he left, and then there was like a little gap, and then he came back. Why don't they just do the fucking show together? Can you imagine? It'd be the best thing on fucking TV. They should just do a show together. Like me and Tim on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 Central. Check out the headliners. I'm like the Trevor Noah type, and he's more like the Jon Stewart type.
Sorry, I missed the opportunity for a plug. But Trevor goes into that. He basically says it was too much for him. It was, 5-6 days a week. He was working solidly. Never went back to South Africa for 3 years. He just had enough.
But they only needs to do it once. I mean, obviously, not being able to go back home, but because Jon Stewart only does one daily show a week now, doesn't he?
Yeah. Monday nights.
Desi Lydick, who's gorgeous. I fucking love Desi. She's very funny. And there's another guy who presents it, isn't there? So there's like they've got a group.
Jordan Klepper.
There's two others, Klepper and oh God, what's the other guy? Anyway,
the Asian guy.
Let's just call it that for now.
Mike something.
Just generalize.
I forget the Asian guy's name. The Mike something?
Me too. Yeah, I think so. It's well worth an hour. And Jon Stewart's podcast is well worth listening to as well.
Yeah.
He gets some great interviews, really in-depth, hour-long interviews about the problems with democracy in general.
Well, who did Jon Stewart just interview on Daily Show? It was somebody like
Stephen Smith.
Stephen A. Smith.
Last week.
Yeah.
Who's that?
And Stephen A. Smith is the longtime ESPN host. He's been doing First Take for like fucking 30 years. I don't know, like since ESPN's pretty much been out, he's been part of ESPN. And he's been joining some centrist, aka right-wing podcasts and stuff like that. And a lot of his takes, even though he's a New Yorker, a lot of his takes are very, very NIMBY, very it's hard to kind of it's very, very identity politics, but refusing to say the identity parts. And it's very look out for the rich guy. It's essentially it's diet right-wingy, right? And this is like their centrist take. So they just say, well, the law says get rid of them. And it's like, that's not actually true. And you just repeated a right-wing talking point. But then also he says that these other social issues, these things need to happen and they're correct. You know what I mean? So like their takes are usually like, especially for a lot of the people in the mainstream media, they veer to the right for reasons that are completely contradictory to other things that they say. And they have no way of squaring that circle. And they just live in this nebulous cloud of I'm in the middle. So I just randomly pick shit to be a bigot about.
Yeah. Can I, we've got a question here, Dog 4x4, just saying about Trump deploying troops in Chicago. He's just asking, are you all right? Are you all right? You all right, mate?
Let me look out the window. Yeah, we good.
I mean, this is the thing in like LA. I've seen loads of videos of people just walking around LA, just going to shops and stuff.
Walking their dog.
Yep. They're like, because LA is fucking massive. You gotta understand, like LA, the metropolitan area of LA is, if it was a state, it would be one of the biggest states in America. It'd be like 40 states smaller than it. It's huge. It's absolutely huge.
And
the trouble is, it's been in about 2 blocks, hasn't it? It's been a tiny...
it's 2.5 blocks, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's not even in LA proper. It's in like Paramount, and then they walked into Compton, didn't know that they were in Compton, soon realized that they were in Compton, and then abruptly did an about face and left Compton. Like, oh shit, this the hood. Hold on.
Have any of you guys heard of a guy called Robbie Roadsteamer?
No.
Oh, he's done some absolute brilliant stuff. Because what he does, he comes in with a mic and he comes in with loads of music and whatever, and he came in with Thunderstruck and he did his own on lyrics to it, and he walked straight up to these National Guard guys, and they're there absolutely suited and booted up to the absolute max with weapons. He's got this guy giving him the 1,000-yard stare, and he just took the piss out of him. He just basically said, by the heck, guy, I love your super soaker. He's holding his gun, giving him the 1,000-yard stare. Love your super soaker you've got there. And just took the rise out of him. And he's proper Clint Eastwood in with a 1,000-yard stare. It was hilariously funny, singing to Hey Mr. Tambourine Man at the same time. Absolutely brilliant.
Lovely.
Has anyone seen what they're calling the day that it happens now? You know, the day that it happens.
Oh, yeah.
They're calling it the big beautiful day.
Oh my God, we gotta get t-shirts. Oh, we're making t-shirts, baby. We're making t-shirts.
To the big beautiful day.
Here's my big beautiful t-shirt sale. Pay $1, get 50 shirts. Give them out to all your friends. I'm 50 selling these
shirts for $1.
Yeah, I'm selling these at a loss. I need everybody in these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll take a dozen.
Ollie's had to skip off, so
yeah, I gotta go too.
Different Ollie's gone as well.
Sorry, we've lost our Ollies.
We've lost all our Ollies. You wait ages to lose an Ollie, and then you lose 2 at once.
Yeah,
we've lost our port and starboard Ollie. I repeat, port and starboard Ollies are down.
Oh, bye Ollie. Okay, both of our Ollies are gone. But that
mics are in position.
Are there any other news stories that we have not covered tonight?
Have you covered the reformed new chairman, Dr. David Bull?
Oh, this is a guy who was involved in Most Haunted, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which I thought was all about. I thought that was about Anne Widdecombe's underwear, but you know.
Anne Widdecombe.
I mean, I saw an interview and he was talking about Derek Acora assaulting him because even the ghost of this guy's dead mother wanted him dead.
Yeah. It's just, how do you tell that story without, like, the story was he was driving through the woods to get to the venue that they were staying at, and he felt there was somebody in the car. So he stopped the car in the middle of the woods and opens the boot, which is kind of odd for a start, really. He's like, oh God, did I leave a body in there or something? And then he drives to this pub. Derek Akora's at the bar. He walks in and Derek Akora says to this bloke, you didn't come here alone tonight, did you? Your mother came with you, and then attacked him as if possessed by a demon. And you go, basically, you walked into the pub, you said something wrong to Derek Akora, and he punched you. That's what happened that night.
Yeah, probably will have done.
Derek Akora was found to be a complete fraud, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Really? Someone who pretends to talk to ghosts turned out to be a fraud?
There weren't any ghosts.
You're kidding me, aren't you? You know what? When everyone has like a little phone in their fucking pocket, when literally every human being has a fucking phone with a little camera, then we'll see the ghosts.
I hated that show. I hated it when he would just stand there and then all of a sudden he'd go, it's
Sam,
like a really deep accent.
Yeah.
It was so fucking phony.
Sam.
I have a real.
Oh yeah, Sam. Tell me, Sam. Yeah.
I have a real problem with people who take money from bereaved people and then pretend to talk to their dead relatives. They can just fuck off.
Yeah.
I wish hell existed so they could fucking burn in it, but it doesn't.
I have friends that have paid stupid amounts of money to spiritualists to talk to dead relatives. It's disgusting.
It is absolutely obscene.
When I first moved away, we lived next door to a family, and we became
Scott, you're quite quiet, mate, with your new flashy microphone.
So
you got to turn it up in
Zoom.
Zoom.
We had a family that lived next door to when we first moved over here, and she was 8 years old, and now she's not 8 years old anymore. She's an adult with family, and she now claims herself to be a spiritualist. And I actually sat on a Zoom call to watch her do her thing, and there's a script. There's a script.
It's magic.
They all
yeah,
go
absolutely.
through the same script. They speak in the same cadence. They do the same thing. All these spiritualists.
Yeah, it's a fucking con, and they do that thing where they go, "Is there someone here? I'm feeling like someone whose name begins with an F. An F. Is there anyone in the room?" It's like, what? There's a ghost come from the spiritual fucking realm and go, "Hi, I need to talk to someone." Okay, what do you need? What's their name? It begins with an F. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? And then they never impart any good information, like, what's your password for the fucking, the vault?
Or what kind of music are they playing in heaven?
Yeah, no, nothing like that. It's I'm getting something. There was something that was very special to him.
Yeah.
Is it? It kind of shines. It's kind of.
It's like an object. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so ambiguous.
It's like in this room, it would be. I'm picking up lots of countries, many countries. Does anyone have a connection with a large number of countries?
Well, they'll say,
right.
I remember,
and then all of a sudden from the sky comes down the
man of the world. But they'll say, have you got there's a really good episode of Derren Brown where he gives these groups of people, 3 groups of people from different parts of the world. I think there's a group in America, there's a group in Spain, and a group in the UK, and they are given a personality reading by Derren Brown, and the way he got this was he got them to draw around their hand and then put something special that they had on them in this envelope, and then he'll give them a reading, and he'll get them to say how accurate he thought they thought the reading was. And people would read, and some people were crying. They were crying reading this because it was about sometimes you go out and you're in a party, but you feel like you want to be alone. But other times, you're the life and soul. And then you've started an artistic project, but other things got in the way and you never quite finished it. But you always mean to go back to it. And there's a drawer in your house and it's got lots of things, like maybe photos, but it's a bit disorganized. And one day you're going to get around to organize this. There were people crying, going, "Have you read my diary? How do you know how I feel about all these mad things?" And then he got
the same shit.
He got them to swap the papers to see if they could guess whose paper it was, and it was all the same everywhere. In Spain, in the UK, in the US, they were all given exactly the same reading, and it was just using these weasel terms,
same gimmick,
weasel words that just apply to everyone. The human condition. Sometimes you're tired, sometimes you're not.
Yeah.
And
this is going to be.
You have
this
things
is going to be
in
one
your
of the
house
big
that
uses
glimmer.
of.
It'll be one of that shine.
I think it'll be one of the big uses of AI because I had some dealings with local newspapers years ago, and one of the things that the junior journalists used to get was the horoscope page, and it was literally, can you make up 12 nondescript descriptions of somebody's life, basically, in the day? So AI will quite happily do that and start communing. In fact, that's what we should do. AI seances. That's a genius idea. We need a name for it.
Yeah.
It's Spooker with no E in it.
You just type in the name of the ghost that you want to speak to.
Yeah, and it just comes back. We could make a fortune. Guys, we're going to be rich.
I don't want to take money off recently bereaved people. I think it's evil. Never mind. I used to do the crossword.
We can blame it on the AI.
The student newspaper, the student mag. I used to do the crossword for that. And the movie reviews. That was great. You got to see a movie. It was fucking brilliant. You got to see a film for free.
Perfect.
I didn't get paid.
Student.
Didn't get paid for it, but you got to see it. And then you wrote some stuff about it. I did the same for the BBC when I was in Liverpool in the 2000s. I didn't get paid for it, but they put me on the guest list of a gig, and I could go and watch the gig. All I had to do is write 500 words after I saw it. It's fucking great.
Perfect student gig.
I'd do it. I'd write up the gig review. And when I got home after the gig, I was usually a bit drunk actually. Thinking about it, I should probably not look back at it. The BBC. This is when they used to have regional sites for the BBC, so you could go to like the Liverpool site and it would have what was happening in Liverpool. It's really great. And they got rid of it all because they wanted to cut costs, and the people in charge all went to private school and don't care about gigs and movies and arts and things going on anywhere else but Tunbridge Wells or wherever the fuck they all live. But yeah.
And on that note, hey, one other bit of good news, maybe to end on, is that the private schools that went to court to try and get the VAT ruling overturned. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
They got told to fuck off. And the judge made a big point about how it was Brexit's fault. So, if we hadn't Brexited, you wouldn't have been able to do this. So if all your alumni from your private posh schools hadn't told you all to Brexit, we couldn't have put a VAT on it.
Yeah, it just kind of reminded me of because I talked about a certain young lady called Emma Monk. She does a Substack thing called Emma Monk Debunk. That's what she calls it, I think. And somebody posted a bit of a Daily Mail headline saying that somebody's Tarquin was not allowed to any NHS because he went to private school. Yeah. And she went through it, and it was just the biggest load of baloney and bollocks you'll have ever seen. And it's the reason why is because it was the council that pays. I think it was the council that pays for it all. But because her Tarquin went to a private school, and not a state school, because I think it was a case of the council pays for this. For the state school type, and it was a really. In fact, I remember James O'Brien did a bit of an interview with her this week about it as well. It was very, very interesting.
Yeah, the whole story was bullshit. It was all crap.
Yeah, so much so that guess who brought this legislation in 2014?
The Tories.
Yes, and guess how many in the article in the Daily Mail they had 3 Tory MPs who were saying this is communism at its worst, and all these buzzwords were coming out, and even the wife, not the wife, the mother of the child used the term 2-tier. I wonder where she got that from.
Who knows?
They've got nothing. The Tories are just so dead in the water right now. They have nothing. They've got nothing.
Scott, you're still really quiet. Could you turn your mic up? Because you've been really quiet all night.
I'm sorry. I can hear myself, and I think I'm quite loud.
You're not.
The Tories, they have nothing. They got nothing to say. They have nothing.
Got a lot of money. They're making 4 times the income of Refuck at the moment. People still giving them fucking money. Yeah. Mad thing, one of the things that the Tories get a lot of money from, the way that Labour get a lot of money from unions.
Yeah.
Well, the Tories get a lot of money from dead fuckers. So people who, instead of giving money in their will to good causes or their grandchildren or the cat farm, whatever, they give money to the Conservative Party so that future generations of rich twats don't have to pay tax.
Of course.
How nice of them. How sweet. So a lot of bequeathing. And a lot of people who bequeathed, is that farting for you? A lot of people who bequeathed money during the what was it? What was the other thing they did? COVID. Yeah. So there's a lot of people who got killed by the Conservative Party's lack of compassion and understanding of disease, epidemiology, fucking anything. The Tories' incompetence killed a lot of old people during COVID, and they made a lot of money out of that because a lot of old people who died of COVID gave Tories fucking loads of money in their will. So they were quids in. So there you go. If you're going to take anyone out and you're the Tory party, take out the old people. It's the way to do it. We got some chats in here. People are talking about China Tesla. People are talking about being a Capricorn. There is no perfection in this universe, says Captain Coconut. And I think we're going to have to wrap it up in a few minutes. So I'm going to ask before we go, are there any news stories that we haven't covered this week that you
literally cannot think of anything
thought were fucking hilarious and we should possibly have?
Zahir Yusuf getting his backside handed to him on Question Time a few times.
I didn't even watch it.
I saw him just fucking being allowed to talk and just lie, and no one did anything about it.
Although quite a few in the audience didn't buy his bollocks.
Well, that's good. Mike,
one guy called them a comedy show.
Yeah, well, he is. I mean, he's a fucking idiot. But he resigned last week, didn't he? And then he rejoined.
Yeah, but what I did find quite funny was when you looked at him, he looked incredibly uncomfortable sat next to Darren Jones, because I remember when it came to asking him about how you're going to pay for all this, and he got into him, and then decided he's going to do Fiona Bruce's job. Ask him the important question: how are you going to pay for all this? And he just waffled on about. He said, "Oh, what you're doing is insulting the public," and he said, "No, I'm not insulting the public. I'm just insulting your intelligence." And she go, "How are you going to do it? How are you going to do it?" And then Fiona Bruce says, basically, can you stop harassing our guest? He's only here to have his belly tickled.
Did she ask Darren Jones to stop harassing?
Yeah. And she also said, now, remember, this is supposed to be an audience that's supposed to represent the voting percentage of the electorate. She said, we do have a lot of reform support voters in tonight's audience. Were it only 14% of the vote? But apparently, she said, we do have a lot of reform support voters in the audience.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way it goes, isn't it? That's the way it goes. So yeah, I think we're winding down in the chat as well. There's not as many people as there were earlier. But who is the single? Who are the largest donors single to Labour?
Trade unions.
Lord Ali.
Yeah.
Oh, but if it's individuals, yeah. And the guy from Iceland
yeah.
started putting money in as well, hasn't he?
So
one of the things I always found interesting is every Labour Party conference I've ever been to, Gibraltar has a stand there. Yeah. And then this week we get the news that Gibraltar's borders have been fixed, basically. So
but Gibraltar always have a stand at the Lib Dems and at the Tories as well.
Yeah, well, their very expensive lobbying appears to have paid off, basically. So,
but there was some fucking nutter on one of the politics shows. Sorry, Mikey.
Yeah,
you need to say something?
Yes, I had a news story.
Oh, okay. Could just finish off.
I was queuing up.
Okay, I'll come to you in a moment. But there was some fucking woman nutter on a politics show in
I know what you mean.
And she was going on about how undemocratic it was. These new arrangements in Gibraltar to allow people to in and out of Gibraltar, and so they can cross the border into Spain without having to have a border crossing between Gibraltar and Spain.
Is she the one who mentioned David Lammy mentioned David Lammy. I got the feeling there was a little bit of a racist dog whistle there. I could be wrong, but that was the feeling I got.
It was just the fact that she went on and on about how it was sacrilegious and it was taking away people's democratic rights. And no fucker said to her that 96% of the population of Gibraltar who voted in the 2016 fraudulendum voted to remain. And she's sitting there going, "Oh, they're going against the British people who wanted the British thing."
Was it that Lauren asked about hijabs?
No.
Reform moron.
No, that was a reform moron.
No.
I think this was a Tory moron.
It wasn't the burqa one, no.
No, that was the new.
I've got friends in Gibraltar.
MP for Runcorn and Helsby.
Runcorn, that's right.
Yeah,
I've got friends in Gibraltar, and they're over the moon about the arrangement because it's been a ridiculous situation.
It has been a
Brexit.
So essentially what it is if you fly in now, you go through 2 sets of border security in the same way that you go through 2 sets when you're going through St. Pancras Station in London, if you're going on your way to Brussels or Paris or Nantes. Not Nantes. Fuck, what's the other place you can go to where it branches off? France.
Nice.
No, that's down in the south. It's shit.
Nice.
It'll come to me. I've been there. I went to the zoo.
Boulogne. Was it?
Someone's going to tell me in the chat.
Did you have your trotters up there, Graham?
No, I don't put my trotters up in the south of France.
France land.
The
France
north
land.
of France, perhaps, not the south. But yeah, Lille.
France.
Anyway,
Francington.
They have a system. So, Mikey, just explain that they if you go on the train, right, rather than having passport control on the other end, once you get off the train that goes through the Channel Tunnel into continental Europe, when you go through the British passport control, and then you go through the French passport control, and then you get on the train. So when you get to your destination, you just get off the train and walk wherever you want, right? So the same sort of thing is going to happen now in Gibraltar. If you fly into Gibraltar, you get your passport checked by the Spanish and the British authorities at the airport, and it means that the people who live in Gibraltar and the people who work in Gibraltar can go freely over the border from Spain into Gibraltar and Gibraltar into Spain. So that's why people are over the moon about this. Sorry, I don't know why that took me so long to explain that. Mikey, go on. What are you saying? What's your story before we go?
Thursday, me and Tim covered the fall of Western media, and that is, if you look at the coverage from several 3-letter agencies about what's going on in LA, Erin Burnett, I used to love her so much, is holding the non-lethal 40 millimeter shotgun rounds that the cops shoot at the protesters. And she said, yes, the protesters are shooting these at the police. And I'm like, are you dumb? Do you think the protesters? So we did a whole breakdown on it. Story. And then they had the Dr. Phil, Jake Tapper interview where I don't know why they're both elbow deep into Trump at this point, but the lying is horrid. Just blatant, just saying things that aren't true. And well, what about this thing? Dr. Phil says, Jake Tapper, a well-respected journalist. Well, and then feelings, buzzwords. And I'm like, this is bad because at this point they are softening the road CNN is softening the road so that it will be socially acceptable to allow ICE to do whatever the fuck they want to whoever they want. That's what they're doing. They're doing the Nazi apologia early. And CNN is front and center, lying about what people are doing, lying about what's happening, and full on, they played some Holman clip.
They're scared.
Scared of what?
Going to jail, being killed by the Trump administration.
You're going to die anyway. We're all going to die, right? So you're gonna go die. You're gonna die like a bitch. Nah, it's not American. So
these are rich people. These are rich people. These are people with a lot of
money. Not for long.
They've got a lot to lose, so they may as well take the line. And
that's the unfortunate circumstance that they find themselves in. Either you stand up for the right thing or you lose. Yeah. That's where we're at right now.
Well, I mean, no, that's the problem. The person in charge of America right now is a horrible, horrible man. And people are going to do whatever they feel they need to do to survive.
Well, like he got the army to boo, didn't he?
Yep. Well, he's gonna have his fucking.
Those kids are running. Those kids are running. As soon as that thing was over, all their sergeants came out and made them bitches run. You're running. You're pushing the ground. You're doing something. You can't jeer. You can't hoot and holler at a presentation. That break. No, you got to keep your bearing when you're out in public, especially in uniform. Oh yeah. You go back and watch all the other different speeches from presidents giving speeches to troops, and you listen. You can hear a fucking mouse piss on cotton.
Yeah, like, but that's just a convention.
They should be impartial.
Okay.
Yeah, I know they should be, but it's just a convention. He doesn't give a shit about conventions, and so they know that. He knows that, and I'm not going to get punished.
He's not.
All the generals who were nice.
I have to get up in the morning.
Oh,
6:30.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, me too. Okay, right. Let's leave it at that then. So, thanks so much for watching. Put the links to the protest and the fucking what's it called? The
no protest, Day, right?
The petition in the chat and also other stuff. So please have a look at that. Go watch Scavenger's Reign. It's fucking great. It's on Netflix. And I'll be back on Sunday at 9 o'clock in the morning with Morning Brew on Sunday, special Sunday edition. And until then, thank you to my co-hosts, to Mike Dix and to Scott Williams and to Mikey Famine and to Daily Blase. Hey, Darren, how you doing? And also thank you to everyone who watched. Thanks to all the people who contributed to the chat, all our socialites. And thank you to all the people who dropped in a super chat as well. You are fucking magnificent. Thank you. You keep this channel alive. And on that, I'll say thank you so much for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. Bye.
Bye.